continuing to be the team cheerleader and pip pip hooray, you know, who's gonna make it today? That's my thing. It's the thrill. It's the thrill, the exhilaration, the highs, the lows, the peaks, the valleys, the ups, the downs, the I'm in, I'm almost out, oh my goodness, you know, even railbirding for people on the team, like, yes, no, it's just, I love it. Poker is a male-dominated game, and we have something in our league called Diva Power, and we want to empower other women to know that they can succeed in an environment that accepts everyone from all walks of life, and that anybody can make it. So if I can make it, you can make it, and that's what, you know, I meet the people, they're regular, ordinary people. They're moms and dads, they're professionals. They do what they do, and they love poker, and if any one of them can do it, why can't I? Why can't you? Why can't they? What else are you gonna do on a Monday night? Watch The Bachelorette? Hell no! Let's go play cards, man. That's what I'm talking about. Not mean?
I find the tournament's more friendly. I feel like everyone just really gets along and just wants to have a good time, and no one is too stern about losing or winning. So far, I've had a pretty good experience. I was just talking to a couple of people that traveled all the way from Texas, some from Virginia, close as Pennsylvania. It's just amazing that people travel this far to play bar poker, you know? Again, it's just a game that brings everybody together.
We are from Chester, Virginia. We play for Suit Up, the #1 league, and we're married. I mean, we're amateur poker players. It's absolutely a unique experience. Where else can you go where you're not putting up, you know, a couple $1,000s for a shot to win? I mean, yeah, it's definitely something cool that the Bar Poker Open is doing for, you know, amateur players all over the country.
We had an incredible time the last time we were at the Players Party here in Atlantic City. We were dancing, we had a blast, we were partying, everybody's partying together. It was a great time. We're just celebrating the fun that we all had here together. I always make friends here, and then sometimes we'll become friends with them on social media and keep up with them, and that's cool too. So, and you end up with them at the same table sometimes.
There are millions of people that play poker. That's their hobby. We have a way to do it, and I mean, everybody goes out to eat, right? So we have a way to make new friends play poker that's legal, and we're already going and supporting a venue that we would normally support, right? We just get to do something fun with it. I mean, it's just really awesome.
You have all these different characters, you know, and when you put them together in that one room or venue, whatever the case may be, you know, they become this family. Just jump in and do it and have fun. When I got introduced to the league, I was also going through a little health issue. So I'm dealing with breast cancer. And the people in the league were like, come out, play, have fun. And really this group of people, strangers, they've been a really good support system for me, and they're like a big family in Staten Island. As someone who just started playing in January, I really didn't know what it is to play in your position. I still don't know some of the terminology, how to read people, how not to get intimidated. A lot of them have played for many, many years. So they're even coming today, they were trying to give me tips. People from other leagues that I've actually played with, like in the top 50, and you know, it was like, hi, how are you? You know, it felt really good. I don't know these people from Arizona or Texas or Florida, but because we knew each other from our tag name, you know, it was like, I played with you, you know, so it was nice to actually feel comfortable playing with this variety of people. My particular table was awesome. We started off with 7 women. And we were looking around, it's just like there was no other table like ours. I got knocked out. 4 of the original 7 were still playing. So we were like rooting for each other, girl power, you know, so that was all totally awesome, so.
That's what I'm trying to do, is to meet everybody who loves the game as much as me, making the friends from all the other leagues, you know, knowing who they are, where they're from, what their life is like, what draws them to the game, what makes them come back, and you know, remembering each other, and you know, you just have to be friendly to everyone and know that the great competition is there, and but you can also have great friends in this as well.
My name is Jesse Gutierrez. I'm from Cedar Park, Texas, and I play for Contenders Austin. I love to play poker. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I don't come here to finish second or third. I come here to win.
In 1964, I had one of the largest discotheques in New York City. I'm nicknamed in the club Uncle Phil because originally I was introduced to the club by my nephew, and the few times we came, he's always saying, my Uncle Phil introduced me. So I've been playing in these national events, I think, since 2014. And Vegas and Atlantic City. I think I only missed once cashing. I always do better in the larger stack tournaments. I'm a very patient player. And you know, just conversing with the other players, I mean, I fold a lot of hands that they would play. I, I mean, to me, that's my simplest explanation. it's my patience in the game. Listen, you know, when you first come into like New York Free Poker or any of these leagues, people are very friendly. They bring you along. You can get involved easily. They're not risking any money. You know, you're putting up $20 or whatever, and you're getting food and beverage for it. I mean, it's a win-win.
They call me Carl the Donkey anyway. The bar poker, but I think what makes this very unique in terms of the bar poker world is, one, you're competing against other leagues. So there's a different level of camaraderie when your players are uniting to compete against other people. And of course, it's friendly competition, but it's still competition. But it's all about having a good time. At the end of the day, we always say there's only one person who's going to win, and the rest of us are winners anyway, just by having a good time along the way. It's all about the journey, and it's a metaphor for life.
It's really cool to get a place where people can go and socialize in a public forum and meet people that are maybe uncomfortable doing so, but because they know how to play cards a little bit, they feel comfortable coming to the bar and playing with us. And then they're able to mingle.
And the other great thing about bar poker industry, again, for everyone in the bar poker industry, I think, is we have a significant female population, whereas you don't really see that in the WSOP. So it's very common in our league for to have the final table be 50% ladies.
It's a great opportunity for someone to experience a party like that would never go to a party like that, or never go to watch a live band, or go watch, and go mingle with a big crowd of people, because they just don't do those things. But then they get to experience that, and I just think it's really cool that Bar Poker Open does that.
It's a great way to ease yourself into the game if you've never played before. If you've played professional poker before, competitive poker before, I would say the great thing about bar poker is it's convenient and it's local, and you're going to make a lot of great friends there. And poker is one of the last games left that brings people together and creates that family, camaraderie, friendship, and bonds that last forever.
In 1964, I had one of the largest discotheques in New York City. I'm nicknamed in the club Uncle Phil because originally I was introduced to the club by my nephew, and the few times we came, he's always saying, "My Uncle Phil," introduced me. So I've been playing in these national events, I think, since 2014. And Vegas and Atlantic City. I think I only missed once cashing. I always do better in the larger stack tournaments. I'm a very patient player. And just conversing with the other players, I fold a lot of hands that they would play. To me, that's my simplest explanation. It's my patience in the game. Listen, when you first come into like New York Free Poker or any of these leagues, people are very friendly. They bring you along. You can get involved easily. They're not risking any money. You're putting up $20 or whatever, and you're getting food and beverage for it. It's a win-win.
They call me Carl the Donkey anyway. The bar poker, but I think what makes this very unique in terms of the bar poker world is, one, you're competing against other leagues. So there's a different level of camaraderie when your players are uniting to compete against other people. And of course, it's friendly competition, but it's still competition. But it's all about having a good time. At the end of the day, we always say there's only one person who's going to win, and the rest of us are winners anyway, just by having a good time along the way. It's all about the journey, and it's a metaphor for life.
It's really cool to get a place where people can go and socialize in a public forum and meet people that are maybe uncomfortable doing so, but because they know how to play cards a little bit, they feel comfortable coming to the bar and playing with us, and then they're able to mingle.
And the other great thing about bar poker industry, again, for everyone in the bar poker industry, I think, is we have a significant female population, where you don't really see that in the WSOP. So it's very common in our league for to have the final table be 50% ladies.
It's a great opportunity for someone to experience a party like that would never go to a party like that, or never go to watch a live band, or go watch, and go mingle with a big crowd of people, because, they just don't do those things, but then they get to experience that, and, I just think it's really cool that Bar Poker Open does that.
It's a great way to ease yourself into the game if you've never played before. If you've played professional poker before, competitive poker before, I would say the great thing about bar poker is it's convenient and it's local, and you're going to make a lot of great friends there. And poker is one of the last games left that brings people together and creates that family, camaraderie, friendship, and bonds that last forever.
What is up, guys? Ebony Kinney here, and I am coming to you from the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Guess what? It is our 10th Bar Poker Open. This is our 6th time here at Borgata, and all of the players are playing for their piece of the prize pool. There has been so many changes throughout the evolution of the Bar Poker Open. We're going to talk to some of the players and see what their favorite memories are.
And I got a Royal Flush at the River Chasers like a month or 2 months ago. Yeah, I got a Royal Flush, my first Royal Flush, so that's one of my favorite moments.
Of course, I love that you snap knew what it was. You're like, no, here's what it is. But I think you might be the only person who has never missed a Bar Poker Open. Out of all 10 of these now, what are your favorite moments?
Well, really, I just like every time I get to play. One more favorite moment? Like doing this. Doing this interview. Yay!
Really, when I bubbled that final table, I got rivered. My straight got beat by a rivered flush. So that was
favorite? Well, are you masochist?
Favorite, because I was so close. I was so close.
Okay. Oh, so you're thinking half glass full.
I'm gonna go final table this year, hopefully, for sure.
A lot of the players have one thing in mind: this final table. But what's your plan for this year's Bar Poker Open?
Just try to run good, you know.
We actually started day 2 with 90 players, and we're playing down to the final 8. Now, as you can see behind me, we are down to like 32, 33 players, so they are dropping like flies. Now, they are all playing for a piece of that $120,000 prize pool, which is $20,000 more than we had last year. First place is over $26,000, and they are ready to go.
What's the catch? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So all I have to do is come top 3 in a bar, then I finished top 4%, and I have a seat for $200,000 championship.
This is for you to go out to a bar, have dinner, have some drinks, relax, meet new friends, meet adult friends. It's a great way to meet new people. You know, where do you get that nowadays, where you can actually go meet new adult friends and enjoy what you're doing with them?
And guess what? I found Puff the Magic Dragon. Let's go talk to him. Oh, look at this, guys. How does it feel to be sitting next to a former champion?
I didn't know he was former champion until now.
You're sitting next to a dragon. How does that feel?
I really have no comment.
Oh, being here, I love being with my whole group, my whole league. We have so much fun together, and we're just all having a great time.
It's incredible. I mean, it's as a player, I started as a player. That's why I'm doing this, because it's what I would have wanted as a player when I was doing this 15 years ago.
All right, everyone, we are down to the final 8, and you know what that means? It is final table time. So tune in right now as the live stream starts. The players are going to be on this table, and we're going to watch all of the action.
Keith Polis, Foxborough, Massachusetts, Eastern Poker Tour.
Rich Ellis, Wellington, Florida, No Limit Pub Poker Tour.
Glen Resh, Framingham, Massachusetts, Eastern Poker Tour.
Rob Bryan from No Limit Staten Island. Born and raised in Brooklyn, but live in Staten Island.
My name is Caitlin Koper. I'm from Long Island, New York, and Premier Island Poker.
I'm Rob Stigman. I'm from Boston, Mass. And I'm with Eastern Poker Tour.
My name is Rick Lacapria. I'm from Weymouth, and I play with Eastern Poker.
I'm Angela Allen with Suda Poker League in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, hello everyone. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Bar Poker Open. Oh, I'm like looking for the camera. There it is. Welcome to the Bar Poker Open East Coast Championship. I am your host, Ebony Kenny, and I am joined by... What? I don't know, just happened to my audio. Something weird happened. I don't know if you guys can still hear me, but I can no longer hear myself. So I'm not sure if audio went out. But I am joined by professional poker player Katie Stone, who is also a sponsored Borgata Pro with... did he say audio's going out?
Audio
Guys,
might be going out.
We might have some issues.
We might have some audio issues, so
bear
stand by for a sec.
with us.
Technical issues.
Not sure what's happening.
Let me take a look and see if it's on Facebook Live.
I can't hear myself at all. Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Stone. I am a professional poker player and sponsored pro with BorgataPoker.com. Welcome.
Yeah, so this is the 10th Bar Poker Open, and you actually did this stream last year.
I did. I think maybe you were sick.
I missed it.
year?
My son had surgery.
Oh, okay.
The day before.
Yeah. They wanted another mom. So I was right down the street. I live right across the bridge, so it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mom substitution for the win. Glad
I like
he's okay.
it.
Glad he's okay though.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh my gosh, it's been so many surgeries. Yeah,
imagine.
we are hanging in there. But you were here last year,
Yep.
so you got to see what this experience is, and now
Yeah.
you're back again, and
Yeah.
it's the 10th one.
That's so amazing because I don't know of another organization that brings consistently on an ongoing and yearly basis brings this many new players to poker. And we were talking with the owners earlier. They had like a 30% increase over last year's numbers and prize pool. That's just insane. Like poker tournaments in general aren't experiencing that kind of increase. So that's a very impressive amount of numbers. And for it to be that consistent and bringing all these new players, it's just a really, really great concept.
Yeah, I think we had, I want to say about 820, between 820, 825 players play this event. And I mean, that's up from like 675 last year or something crazy like that.
So great. And the players come from all over, which
Yeah.
is even more impressive. It's not just a local league around Borgata. Yes, we're in New Jersey, but I've heard some players come from Colorado. There's international players. The scope of this is just really unbelievable, and I'm so grateful that Borgata gets to host this every year, because it's what a great experience for these players.
Yeah, I will say that's the thing that Bar Poker Open does so well is they bring them the players, these novice players who are essentially used to playing for bar tabs and playing for fun and really playing just to socialize with their friends. And some of these players play, they play 5 nights a week.
Sure.
And so they're just really getting out there to play for the love of the game. And as you know, as professional poker players, we sometimes forget why we started playing this game in the first place.
We do sometimes, because at the end of the day, also it's about, paying your mortgage or your rent, or so it is really nice to kind of take a step back and see the joy and also just the raw passion, because as you know, as professionals, we're kind of training ourselves to eliminate the emotion from what we're doing. But then you come to something like this, and that's kind of like they just bring it all and they put it all out there. And so it's really refreshing to see.
Yeah, it's nice. It's also, so like I said, like you got to see this last year, and it's completely different, especially when you're back here and you're commentating. It's completely different than other poker events because it's the team aspect. And so it's not just poker being such an individual thing where you're in there and like maybe when you final table something you have a few people there watching you.
There's a huge crowd out there.
Yeah.
Like they literally, it is literally standing room only. Like they have to put security ropes all around. I took a picture. I'll tweet the picture. We never generally have this many people watching the final table at Borgata. There's no extra seats right now. I'm sure there's going to be people that are coming and they're not going to have anywhere to sit because there's another tournament going on also. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's so interesting and so exciting. And for me, like, I've had the privilege of being a part of this since its inception.
I love that, by the way, because you are so perfect to be the one to be a part of it. And just like, yeah, it's so, I've watched you and I went on, look at all the YouTube videos and everything, and they're so great. But I was really happy that when they asked me to do this with you.
I was stoked.
Yeah.
Especially, guys, we now have an all-female commentary team here, which is super exciting.
Dude, that has to be the first time. Like, I mean, maybe it's not. You guys can like scour the internet and see if there's been other 100% final table broadcast stream commentary teams.
I don't think there has been.
There probably hasn't been. There's probably maybe like 2 and 1 maybe, but definitely not 2.
Yeah.
So.
And it's exciting.
Yo,
and what
hey,
let's
rock this.
Making history, guys. Making history by it's 10 years. The guaranteed prize pool was $100,000 and they beat that by 20%. It is a free roll tournament with a $100K guaranteed prize pool and they got $120,000 and first place for this bad boy is going to be $26,000. And we're actually going to be heading down to introduce to you guys to the final table list. We've got a final table of 8 players, and we will have some introduction videos coming up pretty soon. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear table talk. Not sure. But what are you looking forward to the most?
I am looking forward to just that raw emotion of these players who are playing probably the biggest tournament or at least for the biggest amount of money. Because if we look at the player bios, most of these players, the maximum that they've won is in between the $1,000 and $5,000 range.
Yeah.
Here they have the chance to win substantially more than that with the increased numbers this year.
Yeah.
So I think that just that excitement and seeing how they make their decisions in real time, knowing that this is, likely the first time that they're on such a big stage, I really enjoy that because a lot of these broadcasts we see players that have been here quite a lot and they're used to the lights and they're used to the whole card cam and they're used to the setup. These some of these players aren't. So.
Yeah, we have one guy actually, the gentleman in seat 1. When we go through and do the introductions, you guys will see we do have one player who has been at the Bar Poker Open final table multiple times. This is his 4th final table, and that's exciting. But you're absolutely right, Katie, with how new of an experience this is for anyone. And one thing that I've talked to a lot of the players about it, I was like, listen. Okay, so here we are. This is Glen Resh, who is representing Eastern Poker Tour, and he is the most experienced of the bunch who is coming in. This is his 4th BPO final table, and again, representing Eastern Poker Tour, and he is excited and ready to take it home.
Seat 2 is Robert Ryan. He's 45 years old. He is from Brooklyn. He lives in Staten Island. He has 2 kids. And he was the day 1A chip leader, by the way. And doesn't say his chip count, I guess. Not really sure how many chips he has.
We'll get chip counts soon there. But Caitlin Koper's in seat 3, and she's actually coming in as the chip leader, and she's representing Premier Island Poker. And they actually busted the final table. They got to this point. She got aces and ran into the short stacks queens to get here.
Seat 4 is Robert Stigman. He is from Massachusetts. He's from the EPT Bar League. He's a computer tech. He got his start in poker from Pub Poker. And it looks like he's got about 4 million in chips or so. Does that look right?
I don't know. We'll see. I think so. All right, seat 5 is Rick Lacapria, who's representing another EPT player here from Eastern Poker Tour. And he is, let's see. His spirit animal is tiger. So we'll see. We'll see if the tiger's going to make if the tiger's going to make an appearance here on this final table.
Seat 6 is Angela Allen. She's from Virginia. She's a realtor. She has 3 daughters. She learned to play bingo. We're playing bingo. This is actually bingo, where she learned to play poker in home games with her ex-husband. And looks like she's got about 3.9 million or so.
And then in seat 7 is Rich Ellis, who is from the No Limit Pub Poker Tour. And he is a fellow Floridian. I'm from Florida, guys. So, obviously I'm cheering for the ladies. But, why not cheer for my fellow Floridian?
Seat 8 is Keith Polis, 44-year-old Philly area native. He's an architect. He has 4 kids. And it looks like he has about 1.8 million chips to start the day.
Yeah, so as soon as we get the chip count should be coming up on the screen. Maybe we've got that. But as you can see, they're all getting situated. Oh, there are the chip counts. All right, guys. So the seats, I don't know why it says seats 2 through 9, but that's what we got, guys.
Seats 1. So seat 2 is actually 1. Seat 3 is 2. So here are chip counts.
So Caitlin is the chip leader with 5.38 million. Coming in second is Robert, sitting right to her, directly on her left with 4 million. And then Angela is right behind with 3.9 million. So chip counts are pretty close. But as you guys can see, like, the structure for this is not great. It's not what you would consider, what one would hope for a final table. But the thing you have to remember are these people are used to playing these tournaments that they're used to playing normally last 2 to 3 hours. So the fact that they're now playing, 2 to 3 days, they're just happy to be here.
And they've been playing all day today, too. That's the other thing that is kind of impressive, because generally final tables will take a break, like when there's a stream. They'll have a little bit of a break maybe the next day. And
yeah, they took like I want to say like a 40-minute break. 45-minute break, and then here they are ready to go. And remember, they are all brand new to this. Most of them have little to no experience on the stream, and so action is going to start. You guys can hear the audience in the back just rooting. This is so exciting. So action is folded around to Rob in the hijack with ace-10 suited, and he's going to raise here. And the blinds are 100, 200 with a 200,000 chip Annie, and he's raised to 450. And Rob just takes it down. So, guys, Rob was the day 1A chip leader for this event. And the fact that he made it to this final table is huge. His brother actually was the one that was like, hey, Ebony, you haven't interviewed my brother. Did you interview the chip leader yet? And so I was like, oh, no, I didn't. So I interviewed him yesterday. He was actually cheering for his brother for day 1B. And he was so excited. His brother was so excited that he made the final table that his brother actually started crying.
That's so sweet. I have also cried for a friend making a very big final table as well. So
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit that.
No, I love it.
It was the first big one for my friend, and it was actually here at Borgata, and it was just, you know, it was just really emotional because it was a really huge tournament, and then he ended up winning it too. So,
Really? Oh, that's so
yeah.
exciting.
So
it is always so fun to be able to root for your friends, and especially in something like poker, which is so individualized, and you're just like, no, like I really want to see my friends win.
do well, especially when you know, I don't want to say hardship, but you know the you know, the ups and downs that they've experienced. Oh, we have an actual good hand.
Oh, goodness, guys. We got, oh, wow. Okay, so small blind versus big blind. Angela has an ace in the small blind, and Rich had ace queen, has like
She
almost
makes
the ace.
a very, very good fold.
And she just
where
snap folded.
It looks like she limped and he raised and she folded, and that's great because, you know, she was beat. So, good fold. Very impressed with this setup also for this final table. These players have definitely been treated
Yeah.
to a very fancy setup, and these guys do a really great job. Bar Poker Open guys do a really great job. I can't imagine how difficult it is setting everything up. Oh, we got it all in.
All right, and Glenn is all in with pocket queens under the gun. He's got 8 big blinds, so he is the short stack of this group. The short stack and the most experienced. We have seen a lot of queens at this, like, coming down to the wire for this final table, get to this point. When it was like down to 3 tables, there were so many queens to aces, queens to jacks, queens. I mean, and here we've got 7s here. So it's interesting to see what Rich will do.
Wow. Makes a good fold.
So Rich finds a fold with the worst hand, and Glenn's got to be happy with that. Picks up some chips, and he's going to be right in the big blind. So he gets to get through another round.
So here is what the players are playing for. First place this year is almost $27,000, which is pretty amazing, considering that the buy-in for this tournament was $150.
Well, for a lot of these players, it was nothing.
Because they qualified.
Yeah, they
right.
qualified. Yeah.
That's
So
incredible.
so a lot of the players, like, I want to say like 500, there were 500 entrants or 500 players on day 1A, and they all qualified.
Okay.
And then on day 1B, they can choose to buy in for the additional 180,
Or
however much it was.
150, whatever it is,
Yeah. So the fact that 500 of the players just
are in this for free, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very impressive. Just under 16K for second, and 9,600 for third. 5,300, or I'm sorry, 8K for fifth, 6,600 for fifth, 5,300 for seventh, and 4,200 for eighth.
Yeah, and 90 players got paid, and so they got $300, and then obviously, like Katie just said, we are paying all the way up to $26,000. So Rob has his middle position here, and he raises with his ace-king. Nice little hand here, and he's second in chips, so he's happy to see this hand, of course.
$830 total.
And we're waiting for the graphics to catch up so we can see that, well, Rob just wins this hand. And I don't know about you, Katie, but I'm definitely cheering for the women here. I'm cheering for Caitlin and Angela.
Yeah, definitely. I like that they're right next to each other, too, so that they're in the same camera shot a lot of the time. For sure. You don't always see final tables with more than one woman, and so it's really nice that they're here. And I think one of them, though, has she been to a final table before, or she won an event like this before?
I think that she's
Caitlin.
I'm not sure, actually. I don't think that she's won.
I heard someone talking outside about her, rooting for her, one of her friends, and he told me, he was like, yeah, one of our friends is here, and she's the chip leader, and she won like another event or something.
She might have won like her package, I think, to
Yeah.
get in here. So let's see. Oh, Rick's going to go all in. He's got pocket jacks here. And the great thing about the Bar Poker Open is there's always a woman at the final table, and we always have at least one. And I have actually hosted some final tables here at the BPO where there's been 3 or 4 women at the final table, which is amazing.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. The numbers, I'm always impressed with the numbers of women that show up during the BPO. At any given time, you could walk through a tournament room during a bar poker tournament, and it's close to like 40% women.
I saw that. I did. I was looking on Facebook. I went to the Bar Poker Open page on Facebook, which, by the way, I heard that the Bar Poker Open website has been redesigned, so
Yep.
you guys can check it out if you wanted to research the bar poker leagues in your area. Apparently now you can just input your zip code within the website, and it'll give you the closest locations that you guys can and ladies can take a chance and maybe qualify for this tournament as well. But I did notice that we've got Angela with a hand here.
So the blinds have gone up to 122.40. So Angela comes in and she limps, calls for the 240.
Yeah, when the blinds are so high like this, and everybody's kind of short, not a bad, this is definitely a strategy, for sure.
Heads up, 2 players.
All right, so the 2 ladies are going to go heads up. This is my least favorite scenario, but we're here for it. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Angela flops top pair, and Caitlin just flops bottom 2. We are going to see some fireworks here, guys. Although Angela has proven that she is capable of getting away from pretty big hands. So we'll see what happens here. I wonder if Caitlin's going to go for the check raise here. I think that she will. And she does go for the check raise. So Angela bet $500,000 when it was checked to her. I think Caitlin made it like 1.4, 1.5 maybe. We'll see. We'll get a count from the dealer. Yeah, 1.5.
Another $1 million.
she makes the call. Well, Caitlin fills up.
Sneaky little check back.
Ooh, nice check on Angela.
So it looks like Angela has about 1.5 back. It's going to be tough for her to make this fold, but
she does it.
She does. Wow. Good fold. Is she going to show?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
that was nice. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal fold.
Yeah, a phenomenal fold. Well played by Angela.
Well played all around.
Yeah.
You know, really, really good, you know?
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate series of events
Yeah.
for Angela
Yeah.
there, but she finds a way to get away from it.
Sure.
And I think most players in her spot, I don't know if I'm getting away there.
I don't think I am either. I think the majority of players would, but listen, this is live poker. Anything can happen. These players have been playing with each other for a few days. They might know each other even. They might have some history. They might have, you know, played together on the bubble maybe, or and yeah, so we see some really good good folds here.
Yeah, and so Angela she's representing Suit Up Poker, and Kim is the owner of Suit Up Poker, and one of the things that she has said about Angela is that she's one of her best players in her league. So Angela definitely showing, you know, that she's capable of making some pretty good folds and going with her reads, you know, folding that ace-6 blind versus blind early on. So. So Keith is going all in here in the hijack with ace-4 suited. And no, it doesn't seem like much, guys. I know that Keith is all in for 1.34 million chips, which is about 6 big blinds. It's still for a pretty big chunk of Robert's stack. Like, Robert is second in chips, and this is still for 25% of his stack. So he still has some thinking to do. So we'll see if he doesn't know it, but he's slightly ahead. But we'll see what he decides to do. So while Rob is in the tank, Keith is, we ask everyone what their spirit animal is, and Keith said he's a panda corn. So he's a panda unicorn.
Oh, that's so sweet. A panda unicorn. Is it like a panda with
like the horn?
Oh.
Yeah.
Very creative.
Oh, he calls. Okay, so Rob does find the call, and he has the best hand. He'll be happy to see this is the best scenario for him making this call. And Keith knows what it is. He's like, chop, chop, chop. Oh, and there is a 5 on the flop. Well, now Keith has... Okay. Dealer just deals it out so fast. So Keith is going to be eliminated, and he is going to be our 8th place finisher, and he takes home $3,256 for his efforts here at the East Coast Championship at the Bar Poker Open here in Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa in Atlantic City, New Jersey. What a mouthful. I just tried to get all of that out in one fell swoop.
You did it, though, baby.
I did my best. So I believe Rob is still second in chips. It's a nice little chunk for him to cushion his second in chips spot there. So there are the chip counts, guys. Caitlin is in seat 4, and she's got 7.1 million. Rob is right behind her with 5.99 million. So we are down to 7. And if you are just tuning in, my name is Ebony Kenny, and I am joined by Katie Stone. And you are watching the Bar Poker Open East Coast Championship here at Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa.
Welcome. We've already lost a player. That was fast.
Yeah.
But like you said, they are kind of shallow.
Yeah.
So things And I think I do remember last year's players. That was the other thing I remember about these players too, was they just kind of get down to it and get busy, and there was no, fake tanking or anything that a lot of times people see.
Yeah.
There was no really, there was no, Hollywooding or anything like that. So we
It's
kind
so
of
refreshing.
Yeah, we kind of we got done fast because they were just like, let's go, let's play, let's do it, and let's win, and it was good. It was great.
Yeah. How refreshing is that? I know for me, as a viewer and as an actual fan of poker, it is so refreshing for me, not having to see people tank for no reason. I understand people want to, be consistent with their reads, and they're just like, oh, look, I have a story to tell, and I want it to be consistent. But, come on.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because then what happens is other people see that, and then they don't understand it, but they think that it is the right thing to do, and they kind of mimic a little bit, and then it just kind of results in a lot of people wasting time.
Yeah. So Rich is under the gun here. And he makes a fold here. I think he's got 8 or 9. No, I guess he had 11 bigs and he folded, so. I would love to see Caitlin come in here with a raise. She's got the chips. King deuce suited in the cutoff. I would have loved to see a raise, but obviously, look, oh my God.
Okay, I like what I see.
Okay, guys, this is a cooler situation. Rick is going all in.
Does Angela know what she has? No, she doesn't.
She's like, I call. She has aces.
Yes.
She looks down. So we've got a cooler situation, blind versus blind. Angela's got aces. Hopefully they can hold up. Jack 3-10 is the flop. The dealer is going so fast.
Yeah.
We are camera people. Can we let the dealer know to slow down just a tiny bit? All right. And the unnecessary ace on the river. I think Rick thinks he's out, but he is not.
I think he still is.
He's gonna be happy to know that he's
just a little bit. Yep. So he'll probably have about 1 big line, I think.
No, he has.
Oh.
He had 2 million, and she was all in for 1.1 or 1.2. So he should have a little bit left.
I love how she just looks over him and she's just like, I call.
She gives him the condolences face. She's like, oh.
I have a good hand.
Yeah. That's one thing that I've noticed a lot in bar poker. I've been doing this for so long, and how nice everyone is, and how many apologies go around.
Yeah.
They actually feel really bad for coolering people. It's nice, but it's also the competitor within me is I'm not apologizing for anything.
Yeah. Well, remember too, these players are seeing. Some of these leagues are self-dealt leagues, and then some of these leagues are dealers. So they're, the play is probably a little bit slower, and so they're not seeing as many hands. So in a way, that's worse because things kind of sting longer, and you feel the effects kind of longer.
No Jameson
and live poker is just slower in general.
Yeah.
So I can understand why that's nice, whereas we, you and I might apologize, for example, I'm mostly an online player. I play online most nights. So we tend to play with a lot of the same players.
Right.
Play on borgatapoker.com. And, some of the people that you play with, you actually do become very good friends with. And so, if it's a particularly rough beat, or you bluff something, you bluff a turn card and then you get there on the river and it's whatever, and it's a big hand or whatever, I might text my friend and be like, yo, bro, I'm sorry, that was dirty or something. But
I've actually I've been there before, actually. I played on Poker Night in America with my boyfriend, and at the time we had just been dating. This was years ago. He's my boyfriend now, but and it's, we're playing minimum buy-ins $5,000 and random draw. He and I get set next to each other, and I have aces, and he just I like just limped because he raised, and I was like, I don't want to ISO my boyfriend, like let it everyone else in, you know, and like he flops top pair, and like we just get it in on the turn. And like I shoved, and like he ended up calling it off, and I was like, I literally was like, I'm stacking his chips up, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but like,
yeah, I mean, even my husband and I, because we both play online, and it, you know, sometimes it happens to us too. You know, I play on the 4th floor, he plays on the 3rd floor, and sometimes that text message goes right downstairs because, you know, sometimes you just gotta. Oh, we got 2 hands.
All right, so Glenn is under the gun, and he gets it all in with, he shoves with King Queen off, and he's got a little under 1.7 million. And Rob is next to act with pocket 10s. And I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to find a fold here if I'm Rob, but you never know what you're going to see here at the Bar Poker Open. So Rob does make the call. All right, guys, so I finally pulled up the chat, so I'm able to see some comments here. All right, so hands around their backs, and Rob's going to be happy to see that he's got the best of it, and we'll see what happens here as we go to the flop. 10 still best. Can we have the dealer slow down? All right, guys, so we are down to 6, and we had Glen Resh, the most experienced player here at this final table. He does go out in 7th place, and he takes home $4,281. And if I'm Glenn, you know, that's not too bad for a free roll here.
Yeah, for sure. Tough to see him go out, but standard flip, nothing you can do. Players played it great. Both players are, you know, got one player still in the running. And, you know, he'll let somebody else win it this year, you know? It's not a bad thing.
Well, he's a little devastated, you know, because now this is his 4th final table. He hasn't won yet, and he is like, come on. Like, he knows how to get there. He's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Sure.
Fold.
I wonder if Rick's going to get it in here. He's got an ace. He's on the cutoff. He's got, you know, 6 big blinds. I would think it's going to get in here. No, 5 big blinds he's got. And he folds. Wow, yeah. And I believe we have a walk here. So Rob just continues to stack up chips. And you heard him. He said just stacking up chips. So he's happy about that. Rob shows the crowd his Corona. There's always a beach somewhere, and why not here at the Bar Poker Open whenever you're stacking chips up at the final table with 26,000 up top.
I think we're not mic'd up.
Well, Robert has a really pretty hand in the small blind,
And Rich has a pretty sexy hand too on the button, so he's going to get it all in, and it's just going to be another cooler situation here.
Has he looked at his cards yet?
I don't. Maybe he was relaxing for Caitlin, you know? He's like, oh.
Yeah.
All right.
We got aces, man.
Wow, Rob asked if he has aces, meaning like he was like fully prepared to be just absolutely coolered in this spot, but it's the other way around. So the flop's going to come down here. Kings versus Queen Jack suited. Oh my God! And unless it goes running queens or jacks, that's it for Richie.
Wow.
So Rob just continues to stack chips here.
It's really loud in there.
Yes, it is.
That's great. That's wonderful.
So Rich Lacapria from EPT is going to go out in 6th place, and he is going to take home $5,366 for his 6th place finish. And Rob continuing to prove that when you have a Corona, there is always a beach somewhere. The crowd is so loud. We are down to 5 here at the Bar Poker Open.
We are down to 5. Yep.
So all of these players are now guaranteed $6,633. Rick, we're going to pick up the action with Rick. He's got ace queen under the gun, and we're going to see him shove here. He's happy to see that after the cooler 9s versus aces, so he's stoked about this hand. He's got to be.
Yeah, so he's definitely thinking about making this call. You know, blinds are 300. Is that what they are?
I think 240, 120, 240. They're steep.
So he's got, you know, little whatever, 6 big blinds, 5.5 big blinds or something. King 9 off, you know, is
1.25.
Guy knows his math.
Rob's feeling his oats. He's like, you know what?
You know, it's certainly worthy of consideration for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably the right fold. If it were a different player, it could definitely be the right call.
Yeah. I think if I'm Rob with the King 9, like if I wake up in the big blind, then I think then it's a call. You could definitely make the case for a call, but in this case, you know, he didn't know it, but his cards are super live.
But you know, he's got chips and he is playing well, and he, you know, sees a chance to take out a good player, so can't fault him for thinking about all those things.
Yeah.
Potentially, you know, making a pay jump kind of thing, you know. Players are guaranteed about $6,600 right now, and then the next pay jump it goes up to 8K. So you have about a $1,400 pay jump right now that these players are working with, and that's something to consider. That's a big jump, and it's definitely something to consider when you are at this stage of the tournament. Pay jumps are big. The difference between first and second is like, you know, $11,000.
Yeah, that's huge. And guys, you have to remember that's huge. No matter the pay jumps and the differences in money is huge. No matter what level of experience you're at, you know, like you're gonna get here. I know for me, like I'm sure I speak for both of us. If I'm at this final table and I'm playing for 26,000, I'm taking this very seriously, and I'm very aware of every pay jump. Every decision I make is for real money.
You have to, because that's ultimately what you're trying to play for, right? You're just trying to play for first, and here we have Robert calling with King Queen suited. Very playable hand.
And Rick really thinking about his options here. I like that he's thinking about this and he's not just snap folding because he's getting odds to call here.
He is getting pot odds, especially if he saw the hands, he would be a little bit happier probably. However, he may just decide to save his, preserve the stack that he has since he is pretty short. It looks like he has about 1.3 million.
Yeah.
It's 360K for him to call. That represents a substantial portion of his remaining stack. So he may just decide to fold and just play another hand where he has a little bit more fold equity for the next hand. But, you are right. He is getting odds. So.
Well, when Rob S, calls with the king queen suited, now Rick is getting even more odds. And I think that's what was weighing on him when he's like, oh my God, it's like 1,000,000 to 1 for me to call here. But he does find the fold. So we are heads up to a flop of ace, deuce, 5 with 2 hearts. We are going to see another action, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
He ships all in. Rob snap calls, and this is deuces versus the king high flush draw. And the turn is an 8. This is going so quickly. All right, dealer, let us sweat it out just a little bit.
I know, especially on this board.
And the river is the king, and Rob continues his dominance here at the Bar Poker Open East Coast Championship final table. And that is a huge pot for Rob because Robert S. was, I believe, 2nd or 3rd in chips. And so now Rob is just the overwhelming chip leader.
Rob is definitely the overwhelming chip leader. He got very lucky with the deuces. It's tough to win hands with deuces, right? Because they are the bottom, the very, very bottom of the pairs. And it's generally a lot better to flop a set with them, which is what he did.
Yeah, and then to have, after flopping a set, having someone just shove.
Somebody who was unwilling to relinquish their hand at that point. So a lot of things have to go right for deuces to win huge pots like that, but we just saw it. And both players played it great. So not much else we can say. They played well. They played it the way we probably would have played it, and now we're down to 4.
Yeah, which is so crazy. It's just, I mean, we are continuing on with the coolers here at the Bar Poker Open. This final table is just cooler city. And look at this, Caitlin helping Rob, get his chips. It's a good day when you have to have some help from another player. Look at that chip stack.
What do I have?
Rob's got 56 big blinds.
They might have to color him up a little bit because he just has too many chips. But these players are, so now we're at the 8K mark, and then the pay jump to 3rd is about 1,600. So not that different from the last pay jump, but still a good amount. And Rick should be looking to get it all in right here with his ace high in the small blind, and which he does very nicely. And Angela, once again, just makes a very good fold, being totally crushed. She's just been right on every single time with her folds.
And there are the chip counts, guys. As you can see, Angela and Rick definitely have some work to do because Rob's just running away with this thing with 56 big blinds, and Caitlin's in 2nd with 29 big blinds. And then we've got, Rich and Angela with 9. Rich's got 7 big blinds. I think after that hand, he's got 8, and Angela has got 9. So 9 big blinds.
Yeah, so generally these players who are in that, 9, 10 big blind range, we would like to see them double up by either
Gotta get my bearings together.
getting it all in pre or playing a hand post. But they are definitely looking to double up at this point. And our chip leader's strategy is likely to continue to play hands and apply pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm Rob, I'm definitely, momentum is a real thing in poker. I don't care what anybody says.
Absolutely.
It is like your energy, you feel great, and people, there's also something to be said about when you feel great winning all these hands, there are definitely people out there that recognize that they're like, oh, I don't want to get involved in hands with him because he is winning.
He's just running so good. Yeah, no, like that.
They psych themselves out.
That absolutely exists, and that's like a real thing for people to get over, because then you just have to realize, like, okay, like he's running good, like, yeah, maybe he's getting lucky, maybe he's playing well. It's easy to play well when you get good cards, right? As we well know. But like once you realize, like, yeah, he's probably just getting good cards. He's not trying to, take advantage or not take advantage, but he's not trying to outplay anybody or whatever. And then you just kind of continue to play your game. That's a good way to combat that and try to, not take it emotionally or not take it personally. Sometimes people get good cards and they flop sets. It happens.
Yeah, so I got the chance to interview all of the final tablists right before we started, and one of the things that Caitlin said in her interview, which I absolutely loved, it shows more of her responses were that of a seasoned vet when it came to her mindset when it came to this final table, because I was asking her, like, hey, okay, 26,000 for first, this is kind of a big deal. Is that going to play a part in your decisions? She said, absolutely not. And she was coming in as this final table chip leader, and she said, absolutely not. The thing I'm going to focus on is playing my game and playing one hand at a time.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she should be doing. And, that's tough for a lot of people to realize, so it's good that she understands that. It's clear that she understands that.
Yeah, and here we are. This final table is 50% women. Woohoo!
That's unbelievable.
We're down to 4, and we got
Love
2
it.
women.
We have 50% women final table. We have 100% commentary booth females.
This is exciting. This is a big day for women in poker, ladies and gentlemen. And we have some comments in the Facebook Live.
Oh yeah, you guys come join us on Facebook Live.
And yeah, guys, we're not doing a chop, and I'm not sure that Borgata would even allow a chop at this point. But I definitely know that we're trying. We want to see people play, because if they were to chop at this point, like, that money means so much. Of course they would chop if they could.
Sure.
But we want to see them play, and we want to see a winner, a real winner. And then also, guys, listen. No negativity in the comments, no hating on any play. If you think somebody should have done something that's different, but also I will say, if you are going to insult people, make sure that your grammar is correct and you're using the correct words, because if you don't, I will call you out. So it's should have, not should of. So be careful when you want to insult players, because then you just open yourself up to me checking you.
Yeah. Not on this stream.
So Jackie Bowles is in the chat, and she says Angela was down to 5K on day 1A, and look at her. You go, girl. So proud of you. Suit up.
That's awesome.
How exciting that she started with 30,000 on day 1. That's the start stack, and she got down to 5,000.
Yep. And now minimum she'll win 8K, potentially more, 9,600.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So Caitlin's got a hand here on the bunch. She's got king queen suited.
700,000.
Caitlin said that she will pay her student loans if she wins this tournament.
How exciting.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to be able to pay off.
And she learned poker from her grandmother, who taught her when she was a kid. So how exciting.
Yeah, that's
how about
really nice.
Talk about full circle.
Yeah. That's nice.
And the most she's ever won playing poker is $500.
Yeah, so totally crushed that.
Yeah.
Now. I mean, I think all of these players actually kind of crushed their Yeah, I think so. Everybody, because nobody was really over 5K.
Yeah.
So everybody was kind of in between like 2K and 5K. So.
Yeah.
And that's just really, really nice. That's what's so special about the Bar Poker Open is it gives these players the chance to qualify. And like you said, most of these players are here for free.
Yeah.
That they've, worked all year long. They've played in the tournaments all year long. They've won. I'm not really sure how the system goes, but they have earned a seat here, which is very important.
Yeah. Well, I know how the system goes, so I can
Yes,
break it down
please
for you guys,
tell
for
me
those that don't know, and for my co-host Katie. So what happens is, we have the Bar Poker Open. Their championship event happens twice a year. So we have the summer at the Golden Nugget, and then obviously here at Borgata. And so for each season, the players will play in their local bars, and they will get tokens for every tournament that they win. So most bars, most nights that you go in, they have 2 tournaments a night. Okay. So they have like a 6 p.m. tournament and a 9 p.m. tournament. And you get a token. Each winner gets a token. Each token gives them entry into an online tournament on Sundays. And so they are constantly running online tournaments. And the platform is great. I just found out I'm one of the... what are the
moderators?
No, I'm an option for your...
Oh, your avatar.
I'm an avatar.
Wait, so these players play online too?
Yes.
What?
I know. Talk about it. It's amazing.
What?
Yeah, so they have like a lot of our past champions. So Rick is all in here with Jack 8 offsuit.
Yes.
He's under the gun. I like this shove here.
Yeah. I think he kind of needs to figure out a way to win some chips.
I think the blinds have, I feel like they've gone up to 200, 400. It looks like it based on what Caitlin's got a call here.
Yeah, so Caitlin she probably will find this call.
775 more.
There's so many chips, and when the blinds are this big, it becomes kind of an ordeal to even maneuver the chips.
Yeah.
And everything. Like, I'm an online player. I much prefer the little tiny digital screen in front of me with the numbers. Sometimes it is tough to...
Well, and here's the thing that you guys also have to remember, right, is Caitlin might not even realize that it's only 3 big blinds,
yeah.
right? It's just still a chip amount to her.
Right.
And that's the thing about that I've noticed, even from experienced online players, when they transition to live, there's not an automatic number that lets them know, like, hey, this call is 4.5 big blinds.
Right, because a lot of players online have HUDs, and you can convert your chip stacks to big blinds.
Yeah.
And so a lot of players do that. I personally don't do that, but I do know that a lot of players online players, they do have issues when playing live. It can vary. The reasons why, it can just be something like they just don't have that great eyesight, and when you're sitting in the 7 seat and you're trying to see the 2 seat, that can be problematic at times.
There's so many different variables. Angela's all in here with East Queen, obviously happy to get it in here. But there's so many variables whenever you're playing live, because there's that added pressure of like, well, what if you're not like great at math and calculating what it is to call the pot? What if you don't want to be a burden and take too long? What if, you're just like, 1.5 million just seems like so much.
Yeah.
There's so many different things to think about that I don't think people really consider. And then the fact that you're playing on this live stream, there's added pressure. You want to play your best.
Yeah, and
there's
you
a lot of
you don't
things.
want to make a mistake. You don't want to be seen as putting chips in the pot irresponsibly, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which is, I can understand, not wanting to spew or whatever, especially forehanded during an important situation.
Plus, there's the BPO they're now doing the big blind ante, which is another element that a lot of players don't even realize, like why they should be calling a little lighter when they're in the big blind, because they have so much in the pot. Rick's in the small blind here with ace 10 suited, and I think we're going to see some action here because Angela's got 5s, and so she asked for a count.
Asks how much it is. Has she looked yet? We have a comment. The hosts are very entertaining. These ladies need to host WSOP. Rock on. That's a really nice thing to say.
I love that. Let them know, guys.
so much, TJ Walsh. Well, we sit here and see if Angela is going to call.
Oh, so I can finish telling you about the online, how they get here. So what happens is every token gets them a seat into online, and so every Sunday for the whole season, they have packages, and you just have to, I believe it's you cash in the top 4% and you win a seat.
Okay.
And I think if you win, if you get first place, you win a package.
Okay.
So you get your seat, your expenses, you get money for hotel and flight. So they are really like doing it out here.
Really amazing.
Yeah, and then on top of that, so Angela does find the call with 5s, and she's going to be happy to see that she has the best hand. Obviously not thrilled to be flipping, but better than to be absolutely crushed.
For sure, yeah. Angela, again, making the correct pre-flop decision.
So here we go. Let's see if the dealer... Okay, so the flop comes out King 7-7. It looks like it's the best for Angela, but it's bad because if... oh my God! He rivers a straight. I was going to say it's bad because she could get counterfeited with 2 pair, but he gets... he rivers a straight.
Wow.
So Angela's left. She is crippled. And it looks like she's just left with like 500,000, which is a little over 1 big blind. So Evan Myers in the house, guys. Shout out to Evan, who has been my co-host here on more than one occasion. I will get that sentence out eventually, but who's been my co-host here at the Bar Poker Open on more than one occasion, and always comes with the jokes. Hi, Evan. Yeah, some of these hands are unreal, Christopher. You said it right. This has been a final table of very entertaining hands. That's for sure.
Absolutely. A lot of fast decisions, moving things along, players getting it in when they need to.
Angela's going to be kind of happy to see this hand. It's one of those bittersweet things, you know. She's got a little over 1 big blind behind, and I don't even think she looked. Oh, she's got almost 2 big blinds. Okay. Rap thinking, which is interesting here. And see, this speaks to how if you are a novice when it comes to chip counts, and because he asked for a count, and you and I have a ton of experience, so we'd be able to like kind of like gauge how much. But he just sees still a lot of chips.
Sure, and
55. 355.
Yeah.
I have to call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 what? 55?
355,000.
Yeah, so she's all in for 655. I think that the amount is wrong here.
Okay.
Yeah, so she had a little over 2 big blinds. So he obviously makes the call.
Hopefully she'll double up.
I am
Get
rooting
right
for
back in it.
Angela.
She did it on day 1, right? She was short stacked and very, very short on the first day.
Yeah.
And then she came back, and so she's playing well, making good folds. And so let's hope that she can double here.
And she does!
I know we're not supposed to have pick favorites or get super excited, but
I already said it in my interviews.
Really want the ladies to do well.
Guys, also, so we got a simultaneous exciting time over here in the commentator's booth, because as Angela was doubling up, we were getting food delivered.
Glad I can help you out.
They always do us so well here at Borgata. I mean, shout out to Tab and everyone here at Borgata. Yeah. If you guys haven't been here, this is an amazing place to play.
Yeah, and it really is. And it's really, not to whatever, but these players definitely are really lucky that the place that they are coming to for this finale, this very prestigious championship finale, for them to come here, it's really, really special, not just for Borgata, but for them, and for them to experience Borgata, because They really know how to do things. They obviously know how to do poker. I think everybody agrees that Borgata is, you know, poker on the East Coast, basically. You know,
I mean,
it has been
for sure.
forever. Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, the WPT Borgata, you know, that happens twice a year. And for a lot of people who don't travel as much anymore for tournaments, that is a can't miss tournament. Like, I stopped traveling as much, and I still try to get at least one a
You
year.
have to. Yeah, you have to. It's definitely, they definitely are some of the best stops. And, you know, all throughout the year, Borgata is known for running really, really amazing series. We have an amazing series coming up, just starting next week, the Fall Poker Open. Just schedule is out, starts next Monday. There are, I think, like 5 or 6 $300 and $400 100K or like 300K guarantees. So like,
unbelievable.
that's just a huge amount of money that you can win for $300 or $400.
Yeah.
You guys can check out Borgata.com for the this full schedule. Fall Poker Open starts next week and it runs a few weeks. There are also satellites online on BorgataPoker.com that you can play if you are in the state of New Jersey.
So Rob's on the button here, and I believe he is just choosing to call here, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
With Rick being kind of short, Caitlin being second in chips, I kind of like this.
Yeah, sure. He's got a ton of chips, playable hand, has position, and it's the kind of hand that, because of the stacks currently at the table, he'll be able to have he'll have a very easy decision post flop. You know, so it's not a lot of pressure for him.
Yeah. All right, and we are 3-way to a flop.
And it looks like he flops the best of it.
But Caitlin does flop an open ender. Rick flops bottom pair. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Caitlin, look at that. I love these decisions. They're just like, nope, okay, we're in. Look, they all 3-way to a turn.
And the big line comes along. Thinking maybe he can hit 2 pair, something like that.
And Robert now picks up, he still has the best hand. He's got the best of it with his pair of 7s, and now he picks up a gut shot. So if Caitlin hits a 9, she is no longer good with her open ender. That part is not good for her anymore. So I wonder if she realizes that and is now thinking about what she should do. I know she's not thrilled to see a continuation bet here from Rob.
I hear you. Check.
Guys, if you guys could see this food,
I'll take a picture of it and tweet it.
Perfect,
if
guys.
If you'd like to follow me on Twitter at Katie Stone Poker to see our food setup, you are more than welcome.
Guys, I am like a kid in a candy store. This is so exciting. Are those pretzel bite things?
I ordered those on your behalf.
Oh.
You don't understand what you're in for right now. I told him, I said, just take a bunch. I said that Ebony doesn't know what these are. Because he gave me the menu. He said, I said, Ebony doesn't know what these are. I'm just gonna order these, and she's gonna love them. And it's so funny that that's what you saw. You're like, are those pretzel bites?
I'm so excited. So Caitlin did end up making the call on the turn. And she did not improve on the river, but I mean, good for her. She didn't get the 9. But so Rob, he's got the best hand, so I wonder if he's going to do anything here. This is an amazing spot for Caitlin. I would have loved if Caitlin could just, just shove here. It would have been so great for her.
Yeah, I think, as played, seeing the bet from the button with the 7, I think I would have shoved if I was her on the flop. But this, there is not one way to play poker, which is what is so amazing and beautiful about the game, right? There are many, many ways to win.
Yeah.
And there are many, many different styles. and it suits everybody, and that's why everybody should play.
Yeah, I think that's what's so great about. There's this like great debate about GTO poker, et cetera, and it's like, listen, the one thing you can't discount is the human experience and human emotions, and like people's ability to recover or play consistently. Like people can study all day long, you know, and knowing the right thing to do and executing are two very different things.
Well, and that's the beauty of live poker too. And you know, something that you might know, that might just be a simple math problem on paper, could be something very different live.
Yeah.
You can see a living, breathing, emotional person. It gives you so much more information.
Yeah. And speaking of, so Rob continues his dominance here. He's got ace queen under the gun and he raises. And
I think he just called, actually.
Oh my God, he did just call.
He limped, which is totally fine. Like, it's totally with his, you know, this is his strategy. You know, this is definitely a strategy. So,
Angela's very happy to see this, I'm sure. She flops top pair, and she's got, look, she's only got 700,000, and the pot is 1.2 million. If I'm Angela, I am very, very, very happy to see top pair, and she just leads right out, which I absolutely love. So actions on Robert after Angela bets 500,000, leaving herself with 210,000 behind. I think those chip counts are a little off, but we'll see. I think as played, Rob just has to fold here. You know, this is what happens. You know, you limp here, which is great, but you also, you know.
Well, it's just an alternative strategy.
Yeah.
You know, there's other strategies to open, and then there's other strategies to just open jam, and then there's strategies to limp. Sure, every strategy has its, you know, good and bad
you get
things
pros and
to
cons
it,
with everything.
And so sometimes we see what happens with one particular strategy, and that's what's great about these live streams too, is because you can learn a lot from these live streams.
Yeah.
You know, you might not learn from the commentators per se, but you can learn just by watching and seeing, like, oh, I might, you know, maybe you've never been in a situation like this. What would this player do? I know they've never been in a situation like this on a live stream, playing for more money they've ever played for, having lights, having the whole card cam, you know, and you can kind of put yourself in their position and say, like, what would I have done? And that's really helpful for Bar Poker Open players, and then just all new players in general, where, you know, if maybe they're watching another stream, sometimes things can be confusing or move really fast, and
sometimes it seems like, especially when you're watching like these high roller bowls, sometimes the commentary can seem like it is so much, like it's a completely different language.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's like, what are they talking about with this, like, blockers and ranges and this and that?
And that has its place, right?
Yeah.
You know, that definitely has its place. However, you know, this is a very unique event, and
And guys, if you are just tuning in, my name is Ebony Kenny, and I am joined by the lovely Katie Stone, and you are watching the Bar Poker Open East Coast Championship, and this is the 10th Bar Poker Open event. This is our 6th time here at Borgata. It's very exciting.
wow, I didn't even know that. Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. And 10 years, you know, and the fact that the numbers keep growing every year is just so impressive. Oh, all in again.
Uh-oh.
Ace, queen suited.
Our stream just froze. Not sure if you guys... Oh, okay, I think we got it. So Rick is all in with ace, queen suited. Angela just doing it again.
The phenomenal fold again.
I
that
love
maybe
it.
we would not have been able to do.
This is, and you were just talking about this, is seeing what some players would do that we wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, we get the advantage of being able to see all of the cards, and just realizing that Angela's just
Crushing,
making the best
soul
plays
reading.
ever for her.
She's just soul
Yeah.
reading.
It's so great.
And that's, you asked me before the stream started, what I was, or right as we started, you said, what are you most interested in watching today? What are you most interested in seeing? And this is exactly it. Is this kind of, you know, like, she is in her element. Like, she knows these players. She knows what's going on. She is just going with her gut, and that is poker. You know, that's a beautiful thing to see, and she's been right every single time.
Yeah, she's really in her zone. Although, and if you're just tuning in, like, you would not know, like, because she's fourth in chips, like, she's the short stack, and you'd be like, oh, like, she needs to, you know, whatever people might think for someone who's doing the short stack.
They haven't seen.
But she has survived in spots that other people,
Yeah, she should have gone broke a few times.
So we have a blind versus blind situation. Caitlin is raised with Jack 7 suited, and Rick has Ace Queen suited, and he's re-raised all in.
Yep. But
and it's not much more.
Yeah, I mean, both plays are totally great, you know. Blind versus blind is one of those things that if you ever feel like frustrated about your blind versus blind play, don't, because guess what? You really can't make that many mistakes blind versus blind.
Yeah.
And you know, we have two hands here that are really good, and both hands can go either way, and that's like another great thing about poker. There's no, like you were saying, like there's no one path or whatever.
Right.
These are very just different. This is where personalities come out in poker. This is where, you know, look, like she's sitting here. She knows she has a good hand. She knows that it's not that much more to call, and look at her. She's looking at him. She's really thinking about it, and this is what she's used to. She's in her element right now, you know, even though she's got a hand that has, you know, equity versus this Ace Queen of Hearts. She's, you know,
Yeah, and so we've got some questions from the audience. People are asking what leagues are still represented. So Caitlin, who actions on her right now, she's thinking she is a member of the Premier Island Poker League, and she lives in Long Island. And then Rick, who's all in with the Ace Queen suited, he's actually from the No Limit Pub Poker Tour, and out of Florida. And then let's see, Angela's from Suit Up out of Virginia, and Rob Ryan, the chip leader, is from No Limit Pub Poker, but in Staten Island. So No Limit Pub Poker has multiple locations.
Yeah.
They are No Limit Pub Poker Worldwide is the way that the owners introduce themselves. So yeah, and we're getting a lot of different things in the chat. Like some people are saying she has to fold, other people are saying she has to call, and I honestly think it could go either way. You could make a case for both.
You really could. You really, and this is just where it gets down to it. These players are going to do what they feel is the right thing to do, and look what's happening though. Like we can come in here and say like math, you're supposed to do this, this, and this, but every single decision these players have made has been correct.
Yeah.
Even though other players may not have made that same play. And I think that that's really amazing to see.
Yeah, it honestly, as someone who's, you know, been a part of the Bar Poker Open since its inception, I have seen even the level of play evolve, you know, in the past, you know, 6 years, 5 years, I think it's been happening now. And seeing so much growth and just, it's so exciting and fun to watch players evolve in a game that I love so much.
Sure, and just watching them experience the joy and learn to experience the joy. Because poker can be frustrating at times, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not always, you're not always on final table live streams winning, you know, many, many thousands of dollars. Poker can be tough, but it's important to remember that, especially if you're playing poker tournaments, there's a lot of losing that goes on in poker tournaments. A lot has to go right for you to win a poker tournament, and so a lot of new players that you know that I talk to who may get discouraged. You know, they might play a few tournaments live and they don't do well, or they might play a few tournaments online, they don't do well. Listen, don't get discouraged. Winning at poker takes a long time, and it's the kind of activity that I believe that if you practice it and you study, not study, just you practice, and you play more, it can actually help other things in your life. So like when you're practicing, like when you're trying to understand, like if I should call this guy shove, like you know, like Rick was trying to figure out if he should call Angela's shove before, you know, those kinds of things can actually help you figure out other problems or not problems, but other issues. It can help you decide other issues.
Yeah.
You know.
I absolutely agree. It can help you with like some decision making.
Sure.
Also, you know, if you're able to practice aggression on the table, how much more you can stand up for yourself in actual like real life situations.
For sure.
And I did make a mistake. So we had a Rich and a Rick on the final table, and so Rich got knocked out from NPPT. And I was wondering, I don't know if you noticed my hesitation when I was looking, and I said, but it's Rick Lacapria from Eastern Poker Tour. So we do have 4 different leagues represented here, which is so exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. And if any of you watching are in the area, Borgata has a Fall Poker Open series that is starting next week, culminating with a $2,700, $1 million guaranteed main event. Satellites are also online for that main event. There are also satellites for the $600 500K opener, which starts next week. There are $45 satties every night at 7:30 online, and you can win your $600 seat into the $500 opening event. There's also a $300 300K the following week, which is a pretty great event, the Almighty Stack. Full schedule is available on Borgata.com.
100,000.
So we have a raise in the small blind. Looks like a 3x raise to 900K. Not much Caitlin can do, 9-3 off. Definitely not something that she's going to be looking to defend or put any more chips in. And I definitely don't blame her.
You were right. You're absolutely right about these pretzel fights.
Oh yeah, I know. So we did a live stream here in September for the WPT, and I think I ate probably half of the bowl of those. I didn't feel that great the next day because carbs and bread my body hates carbs and bread, but you know, how can you not eat this, you know?
Yeah. I do have a love-hate relationship with carbs now.
It's really,
bread especially. I was just talking about that with Brittany, actually. Shout out to Brittany, who's been our photographer and blogger here for the Bar Poker Open. But we were just talking about that, and I think that my body has developed a sensitivity to gluten in the past few years, because I would say probably for the better part of the last 7 or 8 years, I've been kind of avoiding.
Yeah.
And when you eliminate toxic stuff out of your life and then you reintroduce it,
and then you feel shitty.
Your body's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. I did that too. I didn't eat bread or pizza or pasta for 4 years. And then I had a baby, and all that self-control went out the window, and I started eating bread again, and I don't feel very good.
Yeah. So, well, Rick did have the best hand until that river, and Caitlin just rivered a straight. So, be interesting to see if she makes any money here. All right. Kevin screaming at us in the chat. Can we stop talking about your diet and get back to poker? Listen, we are human beings, and if we want to have 3 sentences where we talk about gluten, then we can. So chill out, Kevin, and definitely stop shouting. All right, dealer change here. All right. So Robert is under the gun with Ace-9 offsuit. And I believe he's going to go for a raise. So Robert does raise 800,000. Caitlin calls with a king queen offsuit. And actions now to Angela, who's got queen 9 suited in the big blind. Unfortunately for Angela, her cards are being shared by both Rob and Caitlin.
But they are suited.
Oh, Katie, you sound so deep. Your voice sounds so deep. What happened?
That's what happens after 5 days of Bar Poker Open enjoyment here. Hello, everyone on the stream. This is Andrew Griffith from River Chasers Entertainment and the Bar Poker Open Network. I am happy to be here in the booth to help commentate here for a little bit while we watch the final few players of our incredible national championship. And my suited all-in, Queen 9.
Is she all in? She's not all in. She just called. You see, here's the thing. The graphics are wrong. She still's got chips behind.
Ooh.
But she does flop a flush draw.
E6. Top pair, flush draw. Caitlin missed everything. Unless she takes a stab at it. She's probably going to be out of this hand in a second.
So Rob does continue to bet here after raising pre-flop. And I mean, why wouldn't he? Flop top pair. So Kate gets out of the way. Angela's all in. She's got a flush draw. I am rooting for a club. Let's go. Come on, club. Yes!
And that puts the nail in it already. The crowd goes wild. The booth goes wild.
Yes! Guys, you know how I feel about that. I am rooting for my ladies here. I'm not anti-sweating Rob. I am just absolutely cheering for Angela and Kate.
And I too come here rooting for the ladies and the gentlemen equally. Unfortunately, we did not have any River Chasers representation at this final table, but we did have some incredible players make day 2 this year. Our top place was about 19th place, Noel Sperry from Morrisville. We congratulate all of our players and the other, 86 players who have busted out in the money here so far this weekend. It is a long journey. You figure this started right after the Bar Poker Open in Vegas in June of 2019. They immediately started qualifying for the next year's worth of Bar Poker Open events, and this is the first one of the season in which any player who has won a seat online or through their local league had the opportunity to join us here in Atlantic City and play for this $100,000 guaranteed prize. And for a quick review of the simple 2-step process to be a part of this promotion, find a local Bar Poker Open event on barpokeropen.com. Join us at the bars, finish top 3 at any location, and you earn your Bar Poker Open token. Redeem that token online in any of our weekly Sunday qualifiers. If you finish in approximately the top 4%, you earn a seat into the upcoming national championship. If you win first place, you get an entire full Vegas travel package and the seat to the Atlantic City event. So you go to Atlantic City to play in this championship, as well as Vegas in upcoming 2020, airfare, hotel, and seat in the $200,000 guaranteed championship. Now, I say $200,000 guaranteed, but last year we crushed it. $285,000 prize pool.
It was huge.
We are expecting it to keep growing, but we'll say 200 for now as a guaranteed minimum.
Caitlin is all in here with pocket sevens, and she was first to act, got it all in. She's got 4.4 million, and it's actions folded around to Rob, who is a chip leader with 14.5 million. And he's got a suited ace here, so of course he's going to think about it a little bit. And it'll be interesting to see if he decides to make this call.
Yeah, a third of his stack for an ace-high draw, just the hearts. If I'm not mistaken, is Caitlin in number 2 in chips?
She is. Both Rick and Angela have about the even amount. They have about 2.5 million. But the blinds are 200, 400 right now. So although Caitlin is shoving for a third of Rob's stack. It is 11 big blinds.
Right.
So I think this might be, if I'm Rob, I think he might end up folding. He's not thrilled about it. I think if she had like 7 or 8 big blinds, he'd be a lot more inclined to call. But you never know.
And this is one of those spots, and I think what you were speaking earlier to is most of the players are pretty confident in what they're going to do. They know their strategy. They know what they're trying to do. And in this situation, Robert, who just folded, was not confident in the draw to double up and almost bring her to dead even with him. I mean, maybe just a few 100,000 below to give her that ammunition for future events. And I believe the debate also could have been, if I win this hand with an ace deuce of hearts, I control 80+% of the stack in play and can just put my pedal on it and hopefully run the other 2 off the table and put an end to it. But
yeah, I mean he's already got 60% of the chips in play, which is huge. And for those of you who are wondering, okay, why is he tanking? It's only ace deuce suited. Well, the thing is like he could be up against king high, queen high, jack high. There are a lot of hands that she might shove there with, but he did decide to fold, and great job.
Disciplined play, I like it.
And woohoo for Kate winning the hand.
So we're looking at, let's see here, 4th place, $8,080 for 4th place right now for a event that you got in for free.
Yeah, not bad. And by not bad, I mean that's really good.
No, and that's it. We're pushing the Bar Poker Open and the Social Poker League envelope here, letting all leagues know across the country, U.S., Canada. We're international. If you want to be a part of this, if you're a player out there and you are a social a customer, just like all of these people sitting right here in front of you on the stream, if you want to be a part of it and you're not currently part of it, let your league owners know. Reach out to us directly. Give us their information. We'll call them and say hello, because this is an opportunity that every bar poker player in the country should have on a regular basis. The value of supporting such it almost feels grassroots, but we're creating actual legitimate players here that are winning serious money. I mean, we're looking at $26,000 for somebody that, I don't know everyone's personal situation up there, but could have rightfully just went to a bar one night, had a chicken sandwich. Next thing you know, they play online. They have a full, they're down here in Atlantic City for a beautiful weekend at the Borgata, and they're playing for up to $26,000 in cash. It's just an incredible experience.
Yeah, and actually, guys, I'm in the middle of planning some big things for Vegas with Bar Poker Open, and my goal is to see if I can't qualify and get a chance to be here at this final table, but in Vegas, where the prize pool is $200,000.
And that means we're going to be recruiting some new talent. So if anybody out there is looking for, has some live stream experience commentating, Ebony is going to be playing and trying to take it down, so she may not be in the booth, which I think would just be an absolute incredible cross-promotional experience for all of us.
How exciting. I mean, for me, I'm super excited. All right, so Rick is now all in here in the small blind with Queen 7 offsuit. Actually, on Angela with 10-6 offsuit, she's going to just fold here. And I actually like this shove from Rick. You would think that most players with Queen 7 offsuit would be like, oh, okay. But, he's like, no, I'm just going to get it in here.
Yeah, don't let her have a chance to catch anything or play mediocre cards. If she's going to play, she's going to have to play for her life on that one.
So Jackie says, come play in Virginia, Ebony. Well, I think that's the goal. I'm in talks with Glenn, and going to talk to a couple leagues, maybe choose, maybe 4 or 5 leagues to go and play. So if you guys want me to come to your league, you got to talk to your league owner and say, you got to get her here.
Jackie is one of our favorites from Suit Up Poker League. She has come up and also joined us at the special events that we have here at the Borgata with River Chasers and in the Bar Poker Open Network. I'm going to pause that for a quick second because we do have a couple pocket pairs that might be...
wow.
Oh, the 6 is going away. Oh, there we are. There we go.
Guys, you guys see me eating for a second there? Rick makes a very tight fold on the button with 6s. And Angela's got 3s. And she goes all in and takes it down. Woohoo!
So yeah, so what I was saying about the Borgata, we have 2 events every year that we run that are for bar poker, social poker players in the area that want to come down for a low stakes buy-in. For those who know about it, we either have the Hammer Tournament, which is a promotion which has 7-2, deuce 7 related prizes, and then we all have the Rocket Tournament, which is a Pocket Aces related prizes. So we give away a bunch of bonus prizes and everything like that. So if you're interested in that, you can check out riverchasers.com coming up, because the next one will be in March. So
Nice.
get through the holiday season and wait through the winter. Next thing you know, more social poker events down here in Atlantic City.
So exciting. I do love all of this stuff that's happening at the Bar Poker Open and all of social poker. Wait, did that look like aces? What happened? What is happening? Oh, ace 4. I was like, ah! All right. So action folds around to Rob, who's got 8-4 offsuit, and he just gives Angela the walk, or Caitlin the walk. Shout out to all the league players in the chat saying that they want me to come to their league. This is so exciting, guys. And also a big shout out to Sion, one of my lovely, lovely girlfriends in Austin. Hi, beautiful. Love you. And yeah, it's super exciting. I'm really excited to be a part of the organization, and I want to, I figure, okay, this is 10 times now. I think it's time for me to expand my level of experience in the Bar Poker Open, and I want to know what it feels like to be in this spot.
Right.
Like, I've just been on the other side for so long, and we get so many questions about how do you qualify? How does this happen? And all the footage starts from this point when they're already here. And so why not get some footage and give you guys, the real, being able to really see what it takes to get to this point. And I think that would be so much fun.
The best part about what you just said is the answer is it's really simple. Let's go to a bar.
Yeah. And hey, guess what? We all know I love my wine. So Angela's under the gun, and she just called. So they're going to go heads up to a flop.
Jack deuce for Rick.
This is kind of an action flop. Angela flops middle pair with a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. But Rick flops top and bottom. So he check raises all in. Yeah.
Going to be interesting. Does she think her 4 is good? And then if she does, will she put it in still? Because, if 4s are good now, what could he have? No flush draw. Can't put him on a low straight draw, no wheel. And she lays it down.
Does she? I think she called.
No. Oh, I didn't see any action. I thought she just folded her cards face up. Look at all in call.
I think
it
she
is
called.
A call.
She does have a 4 and a 4 only is what's going to do it.
And the 7 does not help her.
And Angela is going to be our 4th place finisher. Maybe. It looks like it's going to be very close with chip counts, guys. They were neck and neck.
Yeah, it's going to be within a big blind almost.
While they are counting down the chips, I will say, guys, Michael Duran is in the lead for me to get down to Florida for NPPT, because he goes, Ebony is fire. I'll buy your wine if you come to Florida.
I think you should have to qualify what type of wine. Does it matter? Does it matter?
Oh, it absolutely matters.
All right, so let's.
Guys, I just came from Reno. I was at Rented Up Reno right before I came here. And the wine that they had upstairs in the tournament area was probably some of the worst wine I've ever had, that I was like, I will walk a mile to go get. It wasn't drinkable. It was, and one of the waitresses tried to bait and switch me. I said, hey, can you go get this wine from downstairs? She goes, yeah, sure. What kind do you want? And then she comes over and just hands me the wine, and I smell it, and I go, is this?
That's not it.
I go, this is the wine from upstairs. And she was like, oh, yeah, we couldn't, I couldn't go downstairs.
All right, she still has chips.
All right, Angela, still got a chip and a chair, guys. A chip and a chair. Janice Scotto in the chat saying, come to Long Island. We not only have best poker ever, we have wineries, ocean beaches, Southampton shopping theater, farms galore, best wine tasting around. This is amazing.
You just opened up a giant Pandora's box here.
Brian says, I am in Texas and you are too. Buying you a bottle would be my pleasure. I will actually be coming to, I believe it is, Contenders in Austin where I live. So if you are in the area, please feel free to bring me whatever nice bottle of red wine you'd like to. Guys, now remember, Angela was down to a little over 2 big blinds just a while ago, and she built it right back up to be third in chips. So if anyone can battle back, it is our girl, Angela.
So right now, I think what the conversation at the table is about is the new big blind ante situation.
Well, she's in the small blind now. So she's... Oh, she is not. She is the big blind. We were just talking about this, actually. So unfortunately for Angela, the way that the rules go, guys, for those of you who are not familiar, Borgata did implement big blind ante. So because she is in for less than the big blind ante, her money goes in, and that is all she is eligible to win. So she cannot double up, quadruple up, even if all 4 players see the flop, see the turn, see the river. She is only eligible to get her money back from the big blind ante, which when... Man, this is like, it's so heartbreaking.
It's a tough situation, and I've heard the debate on both sides, and this was a huge debate, not just here at the Borgata. This is Tournament Director Association. This is across the country, right? This is had a lot of impact on the new rule of what happens in a big blind ante situation. What comes first, the chicken or the egg, essentially. Yeah. And in this case, I guess the people have decided, but also the people that run the tournaments have decided that it is the order of operations is the ante is paid first.
Yeah.
And in that situation, the ante goes in, and you have nothing left as a big blind. So any other action that goes around the table, you're not entitled to, which would happen in a normal tournament anyway. You're only entitled to win what you put in. And since she only put in the big blind ante, that is all she is entitled to win.
So what is happening right here? Well, they're gonna.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like they're
dealer was
confirming.
Confused. Okay, so she's all in for 110,000.
Yeah, they're just confirming that the amount was right, that he doesn't have to put his blinds in, that they don't become part of the pot because she can't win part of that. And they're discussing that right now to make sure they get it right. Yeah, and this is a situation that popped up a couple times throughout the weekend.
Oh, Angela means running queen or 9, queen 9.
Queen.
Oh, and she doesn't even have a club. This is awful, and Angela's out.
Congratulations. That is Suit Up Poker taking 4th place. Congratulations across the board.
And look at that. That's what Bar Poker Open is all
fantastic.
about. She's done, and she goes right into the arms of someone waiting to hug her. Aww.
Our favorite Al Resch, Al Can't Hang, assisting with the blog all weekend long. Long time.
So Angela Allen is in 4th place, and she takes home $8,080 for her effort here at the Bar Poker Open East Coast Championship here at Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa in Atlantic City, New Jersey. She is representing Suit Up Poker. Oh. Shout out to Angela, my girl. Now it is all on Kate. Kate, no pressure, but we're rooting for you. So Caitlin under the gun with 5-4, and she folded.
Hammer time.
So 7 deuce is called the hammer, guys. I had no idea that it was called the hammer until we started doing this. We did like some hand quizzes yesterday, which was super fun.
Okay.
Guys, we'll have footage of that that here on the YouTube eventually. But 7 deuce, the hammer. Like how? How did that get called like the hammer?
I can't tell you where it originated, unfortunately, but I can tell you that from a very good source, I can tell you that it's hilarious when you beat somebody with that. And beating somebody with the hammer is a good time for you. Prop bets across the board come up with that.
Yeah. So actions on Rick. He's got king 6 offsuit under the gun, and he's got 6.5 million chips now. So Kate is a short stack here.
Yep.
Rob's in the small blind with ace 7. I'm not sure what's happening with my audio, but it doesn't sound fun.
Chip chopping up a little bit for a minute.
Woo.
I wonder. So there is there might be a lot of background going on. There are other events going on outside of the Bar Poker Open final table.
Can we maybe mute the table sound? Because it is. Wow, is it brutal in our ears? I don't know if it's like that for you guys. Yes, it is. The sound is messing up. So if you guys can mute the table microphones. Oh, it got better. Boom. There we go. I spoke too soon.
Nope.
Okay, if we could mute the table audio, I think that would help tremendously because it's helping for everyone. And it's a little inconsistent. It stopped again, but
I think I know what's going on because there are other events going on.
Mhm.
There are they might be either at a final table or a completion of one, and there might be a lot of background noise going on just outside
the blowback is
from
blowing out
just
the
outside of
microphones.
these just outside the final table here.
Yeah, okay.
Which means it should
Producer
settle.
guys, can you guys please mute the table audio? And just keep in our microphones, please. That would be fantastic. Maybe? Anybody? I know you guys can hear me. Yeah, because the audience can hear it too. It's really bad. Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry about this, guys. We're trying to get this fixed right now. All right. Well, I will try and do what I can, guys. So let's see. Rob has called on the button with ace 7. Caitlin has raised it to 1.8 in the small blind. Everything is this frozen? They're not frozen. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay. Yes, that's what's happening. This is the worst remix I've ever heard, somebody says. I agree. Chicka, chicka, chicka. All right. Rob does make the call, I think. Oh, my God. Please be better. Please. Motherfucker. All right, guys. I'm so sorry. If you are just tuning in, we are trying to fix our audio right now. Caitlin, get it, Caitlin. She snap ships on a king 6 deuce board. She's got the worst hand, but this might work because Rob only has ace high with a better kicker than Kate. But I don't know if he can call here, just as the way that the hand is played, unless he has an absolute soul read. Rob's really thinking about it. Caitlin takes it down. Good job, Kate. All right, guys. And the way that Kate played that hand, she just gets to take it down. And she takes down a pretty hefty pot, which is amazing for her. I know she's got to feel great about it because she was the short stack. And we will get updated chip counts here in a minute. If you are just tuning in, these players, you're watching the final table of the Borgata Poker Open East Coast Championship. This is our 10th Bar Poker Open. These players here, it started out to 820 players. We are now down to 3. Third place is guaranteed $9,647. Second place, $15,858. And rounding out all of the prize money, first place, $26,838. Christopher Sevick asks in the chat, Ebony, how many leagues were part of the BPO this weekend? So we had 40 leagues qualify and 30 represented here at the BPO this weekend. So quite a showing. Guys, if you're not familiar and you want to be a part of the Bar Poker Open, you can go to the website, barpokeropen.com. They've now upgraded their site tremendously to where you can just type in your zip code and see if there are any leagues in your area. And so we do have a blind versus blind situation. We have Rick with 5-4 suited in the small blind and Rob with 3-6 offsuit in the big blind. And they check to a flop. They check to the turn here, so picking up the action. And we'll see what happens here. So Rick does decide to lead out with his gut shot, and that will take it down.
Yeah, first person to stab was going to win that one.
Yep.
So what I'm enjoying here, looking at the final 3 players, we have 3 different leagues represented, first, second, and third.
Yep.
You're looking at Premier Island Poker, Eastern Poker Tour, and No Limit out of Staten Island.
Chat is saying it's fine, but it's not good for us.
Oh.
I don't know, but it's giving me a headache. I have a headache. I might pass out. Guys, can you guys let us know if the audio chat, is the audio still okay? I'm asking for my peeps that are watching, if you guys can just let us know how the audio sound, if it sounds okay. So Kate just takes down another pot there. She had Queen 10 suited and takes it down. I love this. Jim says, yeah, there's some tech problems, but I like the graphics where you list the table position in hand with player name and box that lists developing action. Dare I say, better than WSOP main event on ESPN. Yeah, you would think that, you know, the most prestigious event in poker, the main event, and they can't even put up positions, table positions.
Well,
so
the live stream company that provides the services for Bar Poker Open is called Gorilla Gaming.
Gorilla Gaming, guys, check it out.
Gorilla Gaming will solve all those problems for you. Feel free to recommend that across the board. What do you say?
It might be you. So picking up action on the turn. Sorry, guys, we're dealing with some stuff back here trying to get these mics set. So Rob is bet 1.2 million on the turn and is somehow going to get Rick to fold the best hand. And Rob playing big stack poker. No sound. Mike is scratching again. All right, guys. Not sure what's happening. Can we mute the table audio for now, please?
Thank you.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I can hear myself think. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a clearer version of Ebony Kenny here at the Bar Poker Open.
All right. Well, that's we're.
No, the audience said that they heard the scratching. They definitely heard it. But, oh my goodness. Okay, so Caitlin calls. The blinds are not 250, 500K. Caitlin calls for 500,000 with King 9 suited on the button. Action is to Rick with King 8 suited. And I assume he is going to also call. And then Rob, the big stack, just wakes up with queens. And he just shoves all in. Oh, and he does the stand-up. Come on, Rob. We all know you have a big hand when you do that. He hasn't done that one time at this final table. Oh.
And he's not at risk.
All right, can you guys hear us? Let's see. I can still hear some audio coming in and not out, but not as bad as earlier. Someone said it's muted. Okay, you guys are good? Okay. All right, so Kate's going to end up folding here. And I'm going to take a snack break, and I'm going to leave it up to Griff and Katie, and I will be back, guys.
Hi, everyone.
All right, welcome back, Katie.
Snack breaks for the win.
All right, so we're still three-handed here. I like the new angled camera angle.
Ah, yes, that's a little distracting.
A little slanted. Gets them all.
Makes you think you're on a boat.
All right, so Robert's still holding a large chip lead. Rick is sitting here with 4 million, sitting with a queen jack of hearts.
Blinds are at 255, so it looks like, let's see, about how many chips does
There it is.
Caitlin have?
She just won. She's almost to 6 million now.
Nice. So Robert has the chip lead, right? But blinds have gone up, so it's his chip lead isn't that substantial. I mean, it is. Well, I guess he has them 3-1, but in relation to the stacks earlier, his amount of big blinds have decreased, and so he definitely needs to be a little bit careful in this stage. Well, he doesn't have to be careful when he gets ace king offsuit on the button.
Right, and regardless of what his cards are now, right, you don't want to be a spot where you have the chip lead and you just give chips away without strategically thinking about the where you are in relation to those blinds, right? So if your opponents are sitting there, they might have to, any two cards in their situation they feel that they're going to put in there against you. And if you just gave up, 4 or 5 big blinds on a raise or a bet, just trying to take a stab at it, you're almost in a position where you're priced into call with whatever you happen to have at that situation.
Well, yeah. So Robert has correctly put all of his chips in the middle. And the other reason that Robert has to be particularly careful right now is if you look at the stacks, if one of these players doubles up, there's a couple equal stacks there. And so, he definitely is cognizant of that fact. He understands that he has to be a careful chip leader at this point It's not like he has 15 million chips and the other two players have 1 million.
Right.
So
yeah, you can afford 2-3 losses.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's this one loss could change the dynamic of the table.
And this is a situation in particular where, you know, I know a lot of your players play online. This is specifically where online is very helpful, short-handed, three-handed. You know, the majority of the money that you are going to be playing for in poker tournaments is at the top, right, first, second, and third. And online is where you can get these reps, right? Because that's how we learn, that's how we get better. Oh, Robert's got another good hand.
It is falling
and
his way.
And the small blind's got a sexy hand, too.
Rick does the double-handed
Here we
shove,
go.
snap call.
That wasn't excited.
Oh, no.
What's he going to do? I mean, what's he going to do? There's nothing he could have done.
Nope.
He absolutely has to put his chips in the middle right there.
Absolutely. Let's see if
This is
we
just
can
a
get
cooler,
lucky.
you know?
Ace-Jack. Well, that was good. Let's see. Another ace. No flush. Needs a 10.
No.
And that ended up exactly how it should have.
So, yeah.
And congratulations to Rick. Third place out of Eastern Poker Tour.
Yeah, $9,600. Not bad for a $150 buy-in.
This is incredible.
I'm telling you, you guys' numbers are amazing. For a $150 tournament, you know, to get almost $27,000 for first is just very, very impressive.
Yeah, and that 150 is if you didn't win your seat into the championship.
Right.
Then you have the opportunity, if you were one of the top players in your league, you climbed a leaderboard throughout the last 4 months of our league, you became eligible to buy into this event. This is not open to the public. This is not anybody that walks through the casino can come in here.
I know this isn't open to the public because I tried to buy in last year and they're like, no.
Yeah. Ebony would also be sitting there, as we had just discussed that. So she would be sitting there having a great time with you guys across from the table from each other. So, yeah, so okay. So we have an opportunity here to see what would happen if, you know, you play at your bars. You do the two-step qualification process.
That's not exactly us, and this is definitely not Ebony.
Switch. It's Halloween. You can be whoever you want to be.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us throughout this really awesome championship final table of the Bar Poker Open. My name is Katie Stone. Don't read. Oh, okay, they took it off.
Hello, I am Andrew Griffith from River Chasers and Bar Poker Open. We just went on a quick table break now that we got the heads up. We're going to be resetting everything, getting it ready for the final two players to battle it out.
Yeah.
And what I was saying earlier is you're in a position where if you're part of the network already and you're in the league, you can go to the bar and qualify and win your seat in that two-step process, you know, and we've discussed that. It's you go to the bar, you finish top 3, you get a virtual online token, you get to play online in our private, you know, proprietary software, which allows us to have our championships.
And that's amazing that you guys have proprietary online software. That's really, I didn't know about that, and that's very special. And getting these players used to online poker as well as live poker is really just a phenomenal. You know, I don't know that these players know how good they have it with the Bar Poker League here because that's pretty special stuff that you guys are, you know, giving these people to experience.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. The online experience for them, for any player that's already a Bar Poker Open member, you can play Saturday mornings. We have a weekly tournament every Saturday where you can log in. It's a free tournament, no buy-ins whatsoever, and the top 3 win a Bar Poker Open token, just as if you went to a bar to win one.
I see. So if you can't get
out
to the bar,
it's a virtual bar game.
Yeah, that's
right?
wonderful.
So it gives everyone an opportunity that's already a member. Again, that site is not open to the public right now.
Sure.
You have to go to your bars and be a part of this league to
now how
qualify.
and so I know you guys redid your website recently.
Yes.
So if I'm in Southern Florida,
what's your zip code?
Okay.
So that's
good.
how it works.
It's easy as that. That's
easy.
all you have to do.
Just go to barpokeropen.com. The first option that you have up there is called events, and post it right there. Please put in your zip code. You type in your zip code. It gives you the closest based on a mileage radius of how many events are local to you.
That's fantastic.
You know, we are in a lot of the country.
Yep.
And if I would say, for the most part, if you are part of a social poker league, East Coast, West Coast, South, the middle of the country is a little bit open, but there are also
Tougher to get
states.
there, yeah.
There are states that do not allow bar poker. It's state law.
Interesting.
So you are not allowed to have
Interesting.
any types of games at chance. So
Yep.
so we encourage following the laws and everything we
Sure.
do, which is why our leagues are so important. That it's a situation where every league out there that's playing falls under different laws.
Sure.
So certain states are allowed to give away cash prizes.
Right.
Pennsylvania, you can give away up to $1,000 in cash for any single event, as long as there's no illegal activity
Yep.
happening, right? So bar poker, the way it's run, I'll speak through River Chasers at least, is there is no consideration. There's no buy-in. It is free to play.
Yep.
You do not have to pay to be a member of anything. You do not have to, there is no expense to participate in the poker tournament.
That's fantastic.
The bar offers nightly prizes to the players, first, second, and third in most places, that are either cash or gift card, and they, use them as you wish. And then you get those tokens.
Yep.
And the points. And then you can move up the ladders.
And how long is the season? So if I'm a new player and I've never played poker, or I've never played even a bar poker league, I've never played online. If I wanted to start and potentially, because you do this in Vegas too, right?
Yes,
So I think it's like around April in Vegas?
June.
Or June. Okay, so June.
It always overlaps with my birthday, which
okay.
is very
That sucks for
difficult to
you.
be in Vegas on my birthday every year.
Oh no, that's real. Okay, I was being I was
really
being
my birthday.
facetious.
So the season
so they
it's an
start-
annual promotion,
okay,
right?
okay.
So our world begins after Vegas finishes. So
Okay.
June is the start of our new year. So we go June to June, with the Atlantic City being, it's not the midpoint. We used to do this in December. Scheduling worked out to be better
Right,
in
I
October
do
right
remember.
now.
Yeah, I remember
right?
this was December.
So technically you would have from after Vegas, so you have the second week in June
Okay.
to earn a seat and qualify for Atlantic City.
Okay.
Now the beauty of this is we are nationwide.
Okay.
And Atlantic City's East Coast, Vegas is West, but still a little central.
Mm-hmm.
If you win a seat during that 4-month period between Vegas and now, you have the choice
You can choose which
of where you would like to
go.
So
Okay.
if you want to use it for Atlantic City, here we are. Come
Yep.
on down, $100,000 prize. If you want to save it for the end of the year, which is, again, June in Vegas,
Yep.
you end up having that opportunity to save it until then.
June in Vegas is kind of a cool time too because the world's
Cool is not the term. 115 is not the term. I was like-
No.
But
I
yes,
know. Yeah,
for the
it's-
poker
it's-
community.
I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of a cool time to be in Vegas. If you're a poker player.
Yeah.
I mean, the players that are playing, they might not play in any of the events, but it's still kind of fun to go and play
Yes.
and watch and play the daily deep stacks, which are similar buy-ins, and to go and see, the huge tournament rooms and everything.
Yep, and historically, Bar Poker Open has hosted our events at the Golden Nugget in Las
Nice,
Vegas.
yep.
And the Fremont Street, just to say what Fremont Street is, if you haven't experienced it.
It is an experience.
It's perfect for what we do.
Yep.
It is social. It is
Yep.
the bar scenes, right? Live music for everybody. It is just fully entertaining. So we love the opportunity to be out there every year. And with players being nationwide, they might not have more than one vacation a year.
Right.
So we're aware of that. So we've opted to say that the national championship, the larger one, is going to be in Vegas because essentially more players will get there throughout the year because they have more time to qualify. They have the whole year to qualify for it. And the mid-season being Atlantic City here at the Borgata.
Yep.
Oh, hi, Ebony. Where'd you go?
Snack breaks. It's like you really work up an appetite.
Yes.
Sitting behind. I don't know how many streams I've done, but it's crazy how hungry you get after talking so much.
I remember playing online poker, and I feel the same way.
Are you?
When
You were
you're
an
sa-
online poker player?
I
were you?
was. It helped
I
me
didn't know
a little
that.
bit through
Did
college.
Talk about that. Tell me how it helped you through college.
It paid the bill.
Wow. Well, that's
not the whole
kind of a
bill.
help.
I want to be clear, not the whole bill. I did not pay my way
We
entirely
like to
through
hear
college.
about that, though. We like to hear about online poker success stories.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I be talking about the sites? So yeah,
You don't-
pokerroom.com.
Yeah, you don't even have to say the room.
Pokerroom.com
Yeah.
was where I lived.
A lot of people.
I was a limit poker player.
Yep.
I still, that is my favorite game.
Yep.
It was before No Limit pushed
So
it.
you don't like to fold, I guess is what you're...
No, I like to play strategy. You know, it was rounders,
The
right?
limit
Some people
poker
can't handle the
players
swings.
I know have problems folding, and that's why they play limit.
No. You can't handle the swings, right? So as an up-and-coming college kid that's working his way through, my grandfather taught me how to play stud. When I played stud over at the Taj, that's where I first sat down. And I loved every second of it because I was 21 years old.
Oh, okay. You were 21.
That was 21, so it's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So 20 years ago, I'm playing a stud at the Taj, and I'm one of 7 players at the table, and all 6 of them that are over 60 years old look at me being the 21-year-old that sits down with them, and I loved winning every single time.
Yeah.
And obviously not every time, but when I
Did
won,
they like you or they didn't like you?
They were confused.
Yeah.
They were very
didn't
confused
understand.
that I made the right plays back then because I've already been playing for 10 years.
So do you feel that your online play? Well, you probably weren't playing the stud games online because they didn't.
No. This was all live.
Okay. But
there
did you
was
feel at any point that your online game helped your live game at any point, or?
So with
even
a
though
little
you
bit
weren't
of
playing
history,
the same games, yeah.
So it kind of the way my schedule worked out was the playing live was fun, and then the Borgata opened up, and I had friends and I that were making trips down here from the Philadelphia area because this was the place to be, and at the time it was all limit poker. There was no
because that was just
no
how
limit. Okay?
yeah.
So a friend and I were sitting around at the table. I believe we were playing like 6-12, and everyone started talking about this no limit thing that everybody was doing.
Kind of like the short deck everybody's getting into now. It's like everybody's talking about short deck now, and
right. So we ended up asking the floor manager
to
if
spread
they would
the
play a
no-limit
1-2
game.
no limit game, and they didn't have it in their system, so they had a conversation
and
about
this
it.
was here
This
at
was
Borgata?
here in the basement.
So you're telling me
OG
that
Borgata.
you had a part in the original no limit hold'em poker game getting started at this casino?
on
basically
on my family's life.
Basically, you do.
I have witnesses
That's
to that.
a little bit insane.
Yes, my friend Chang and I were coming down here regularly to play, and yes, it was somewhere around 2:00 in the morning on a random night where the table was like, sure, we'll do it, and the floor had to confirm that they could do what they needed to do.
Because it's a different game.
It's a different game. They had to change it up, and everybody had to be unanimous.
Yeah.
And we ended up. The rules were it was a $100 max buy-in.
That
$100 max, because we didn't know, it was a different
hilarious.
game. Not everybody really understood it yet. So it was a $100 max buy-in. There was already 9 of us at the table.
Yeah.
By 3:30 in the morning, there was a 14-player waiting list.
Oh my!
Yeah.
At
True
3:30
story.
in the morning,
True story.
a
At the
player
basement
waiting
of
list
the
in the
Borgata.
basement for a game that had been started 2 hours ago.
Incredible.
That is an
incredible
amazing
experience.
story. How did we not know about that before?
Because I'm not allowed to wear my orange shirt on the live streams. No, but no, that was man.
That's
Borgata's
very
15
cool.
years old, so
you have
that's
a long,
about then.
You have a long history here. Like
I
this
do.
is really
I do.
your home. This is legitimately your home.
Legitimately my home.
Yeah,
The floor staff that's here, many of the floor that I've known over the years have become personal friends of mine.
They've been here for a long time.
Yes.
Like they live
Yep.
here.
Yeah, the top, Deb, who works here, I've known her for 15 years now. Ready?
We're going to switch.
Oh, we're going to switch. All right. So that's the end of my journey here.
So
I'll be
that
swapping
was
back
really
out.
cool. That was
We'll
really
share the rest
cool.
of the story
Yeah,
later.
For sure.
We're going to swap out here. And everybody, welcome back, Ebony.
Oh, I'm coming in here. Okay. We're going to kick them out. Sorry.
All right, guys, we had to kick Griff out. We're very grateful that Griff could be responsible for Borgata Poker
I am
here.
really intrigued by this, actually.
How
I'm so
exciting.
sorry.
I had no idea.
I had no idea, and I feel like we need to talk about this more.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
very
here for
cool.
this.
I feel like there needs to be an article written about this or something like that tells
Talk
about the
about
story.
full circle.
The first time a 1-2 no limit hold'em game was held at the Borgata Poker Room. That
So
man
15,
right there
15 years ago, Griff?
had a part in it. That's absurd.
When you first started,
they just
in
yeah,
the
'cause
basement.
the food court is in the
Yeah.
basement. That's where the poker room used to be.
Oh my gosh.
So when I started coming here, it had just moved upstairs.
Right.
So like all the people that I was playing with, they would all talk about all the good old
The
days and back. And so
basement.
I felt like this, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I felt out of my element, and
Yeah.
they went out of their way too to make me feel that,
very
shocking.
sweet and welcoming as poker players as a group.
guess. But overall, people have gotten a lot better, I think, in general, with new players and women and everything. People are a little bit nicer.
A little more welcoming.
Yeah.
How is that? How have you seen, as someone who's especially in New Jersey, like
Sure.
you're from here, you've
Yeah.
lived here. How have the changes gone for you?
It's interesting that you talk about that because I think we are kind of in a little unique area here on the East Coast. I think it's the feedback that I've gotten from other players, especially women, is that the further west you go, the players get nicer. And like, I don't know why that is, but it's like the things that I talk about having seen or having been through, a lot of my, like, not even West Coast friends, just maybe more Midwest.
Just west of Jersey.
Yeah, just they just they just kind of say, Katie, I don't think that happens anywhere else. I think this is just like an East Coast and whatever, like whether or not it's a regional, like whatever. I think what's happened is we are all getting older, right?
Yeah.
So there are more women in poker than have ever been before.
Mhm.
And the ones that are here have been here for the most part,
Yeah.
have been here for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're all getting older. We're all getting smarter. We're evolving.
Hopefully.
Right? And so that, but it's not just us, it's the men too, right?
Yeah.
So they're getting older and the ones that are sticking around. And so that's kind of what it's done. And I think you've seen this and a lot of us have seen this now in our poker community is a lot of the professionals have really stepped up and they've really taken a stand and they are taking a stand for when they do see bad behavior at the poker tables. And this is something that we work on here at Borgata. Actually presented at the TDA Summit this summer at the Aria Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. They have a semi-annual every 2 years. You guys were talking about the Big Blind Ante earlier. So the TDA Summit is actually where they decide to make those rule changes where all the TDs from all over the world come and convene for 2 days and basically just, 10 hours a day, just kind of hash everything out, argue, questions, everything like that. And I actually presented at the TDA Summit this summer about ways that we here at Borgata have tried to combat bad behavior and encourage more welcoming environments for new players. And part of that is just getting the help of our regs, you know, the older, more experienced, not necessarily older, but just, the guys and girls that have been here for a while and they're not going to take anything from people. And so when they do see bad behavior, whether it's, dealer or floor staff, server, anything like that, they actually say something.
Yeah.
And when you do say something and when you know that the floor staff in the room has your back to say something, it really encourages you to say something.
Yeah.
And then guess what? When, maybe you're not changing the person that is saying a bad thing, but you are helping to, create a positive change in that environment.
It's the culture.
Because everybody else sees you calling this person out. Everybody else sees you saying something to that guy. And then, you are helping to create a better environment. And so, that's something that just specifically here at Borgata, we're very passionate about that. We're really trying it. And it's been a really nice effort getting all of the, the floor staff. Tab had me speak to all the dealers before the start of our opener in September, which is our, biggest opener. And, just kind of letting them know, look, there are regs out there, there are players out there that really want to help and really want to make the game very comfortable for everybody. We want more players to, continue coming back. And, when dealers know that the players are in on it too, and the staff knows that the players are on it, and the staff knows that the players know the staff is in on it, it's kind of like, you can't come into our house with that behavior.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it really becomes like you create a culture of sorts, and you're letting, like you said, you can't come in here and treat people bad. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We're going to come together. And that's one thing that I've always really prided myself on is that I've always been
you for sure. You've always stood out.
I've always been
always been right there.
I curse like a sailor and and I'm pretty aggro and I talk like a crazy person sometimes. But one thing I will not stand for is just bad behavior towards other human beings. And so I've seen players, treat dealers horribly, and treat other players horribly. And I'm just look, I just cannot stand it, and I
Yeah.
always call it out. And I actually had an instance last year where I was playing Cashier Borgata, and there was a player at the table next to me who was making fun of another player, and it became like a race thing.
Yeah.
And I stood up at the table from
Good
you
for
know,
you.
and I stood
Good
up
for
and I
you.
yelled at this
Good.
guy. But the best part about it was the floor came over and escorted the guy out,
Good.
which was fantastic. So
Yep.
it speaks onto,
Yep.
as a player for me, I felt fully supported.
Yep, and everybody else around you
Yeah.
saw that. And so
And-
once they see that floor supporting you,
Yeah, they're more inclined. They're more inclined to stick up, stick up for the players, and if you see something, say something, and you're not
absolutely.
alone. And guess what, guys? Heads up!
we are heads up, finally, and
They're
we
so
have-
far away now from each other.
So, I think a woman won last? Did a woman win last year, or?
I'm not sure who
or
won.
not
So
last
I
year,
know.
but the Vegas one.
So this most recent Vegas one, Raphael, a guy won. But out of the other, I think we've had 4 events in Vegas, and I feel like 3 out of the 4 that have won in Vegas have been women.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So would be nice to see a little repeat here in Atlantic City.
And guess what? If it's going to happen, I think she can do it.
Yeah, if anyone can do it. I
Yeah.
mean, the 2 women that we had on
Angela
this
could have
final
done
table.
it. Yeah, Angela definitely could have beat him heads up for sure. She can. Caitlin can also do it as well.
Yeah. So, guys, we are officially starting the heads up action. And look at this. Caitlin
And
just picks up pocket 7s.
See, she's just
right on the button.
She's
First
supposed to
hand.
win. And she's going to. Did the blinds go up to 600K, or she's going to?
No, it's still 500. So, yeah, 255 is still. We can't see Rob's hand. But he folds.
So she might have just opened and then he folded.
Yeah.
So he has her quite covered in chips. There's a lot of. Oh, she did raise. Okay, so she raised. There's a few ways you can play that hand.
Yeah.
Heads up. I mean, that's heads up is just such a totally different animal, right?
It's so different. It's one of those things that even I've been playing poker for as long as I have, and I still I'm like, okay, my heads up game, I need to work on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because how often do you really get heads up in tournaments?
Well, and that's the thing. How often do you get heads up in tournaments? Not that much. And you're playing for the most money at this stage
Most
of the tournament.
pressure.
So you really, really, really should do some work when it comes to heads up. So we have Robert 8-4 off, and he's going to raise. So it looks like, blinds are 255.
Kate's not too thrilled here. She's got Jack 5 offsuit, and I wonder if she decides to fold. So this is where the not knowing, that added variable of being the big blind and having your big blind Annie in there, of not really knowing
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, heads up in general, the equities of each hand really, really change, right?
Yeah, it goes up significantly.
And so this is something that is definitely, it's an adjustment. It's not immediately available information to them right at the second, right? So, and each hand just has, oh, wow. So she's, what?
Okay, so she folded Jack 5 a hand ago, but she's like, you know what? I like it this time.
So Robert has an ace, and it looks like he's going to call. Oh.
Holy moly, they are all in,
Wow.
guys.
So
this is the third hand of heads up, and we've got an all in. And Rob's got the best of it with ace 8 offsuit versus Caitlin's Jack 5.
So it looks like she just opened shove the button for about 22 big blinds, just under 22 bigs.
Oh, not even. No, she had about 13 bigs. The blinds
Oh.
were 500.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
so she has
500. Oh, right,
less
right,
than
right.
12
Okay.
bigs.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
guys,
So-
just like that, we have a champion. Rob has won. They both flopped a pair, and, you know, unfortunately for Kate, Rob flopped top pair, and he just rivered the unnecessary 2 pair.
Wow.
So
Well, great call by Rob. You know, he definitely made the correct call.
Yeah.
And good run, all of these players. Congratulations to our winner. Congratulations to all of the players, really, who made
Yeah.
it here. This is a fantastic accomplishment for them. I'm so impressed with the Bar Poker League and all of these players and everybody that I've met. And I'm just so glad that you are the face of this league, because this is such a special experience for everybody.
It really is. I am, for one, like,
And you embody all of that.
Yeah,
You know, that's what I mean. Like,
I
you
think this-
embody
yeah.
this. Like, they're very lucky to have you as
Aw.
embodying this, because this is just a very, very good space.
Yeah,
you know?
thank you so much for saying that. I know for me, like, I say this time and time again, and I said it this past summer during one of my Instagram posts. But one of the things that I mentioned was how flattered I am that I get to be a part of something that lets me be me as a female in poker, and gives the space to new players to really have fun, you know, in this game and create an opportunity.
Well, you are bringing new players to the game.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's so amazing about it, and the experience, and these players, and these production. Everybody's bringing new players to the game, and any time that you see something like this that is so positive for poker, you know, sometimes we only hear about the bad things in poker, or we tend to hear about the elongated, longer versions of bad things in poker.
Right.
You know, you don't hear very often about the elongated versions of good things that happen. You know, so that's why I really like to celebrate things like this, because we just don't see enough of it and give it enough credit.
I agree. And there are a lot of great golden stories in poker, and unfortunately, like you said, we tend to hear the negative stuff highlighted, and this is Bar Poker Open is just doing so many great things. And in fact, a winner has been crowned now, so I have to go and do the player's interview, but I'm going to leave this to you, Katie, and I'm going to go down to the table and interview him. And Katie, this was
sounds good.
I will say this was so much fun, guys. This is my permanent co-host from now on, and I will see you guys down at the final table.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
No, you keep talking.
Oh, I'm staying here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, we'll sign off for the.
What is up, guys? Ebony Kinney here, and I am coming to you from the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Guess what? It is our 10th Bar Poker Open. This is our 6th time here at Borgata, and all of the players are playing for their piece of the prize pool. There has been so many changes throughout the evolution of the Bar Poker Open. We're going to talk to some of the players and see what their favorite memories are.
And I got a royal flush at the River Chasers like a month or 2 months ago. Yeah, I got a royal flush, my first royal flush, so that's one of my favorite moments.
Of course, I love that you snap knew what it was. You're like, no, here's what it is. But I think you might be the only person who has never missed a Bar Poker Open. Out of all 10 of these now, what are your favorite moments?
Well, really, I just like every time I get to play. One more favorite moment? Like doing this. Doing this interview. Yay!
Really, when I bubbled that final table, I got rivered. My straight got beat by a rivered flush. So that was
favorite? Are you masochist?
Favorite because I was so close. I was so close.
Okay. Oh, so you're thinking half glass full.
I'm gonna go final table this year, hopefully, for sure.
A lot of the players have one thing in mind: this final table. But what's your plan for this year's Bar Poker Open?
Just try to run good, you know.
We actually started day 2 with 90 players, and we're playing down to the final 8. Now, as you can see behind me, we are down to like 32, 33 players, so they are dropping like flies. Now, they are all playing for a piece of that $120,000 prize pool, which is $20,000 more than we had last year. First place is over $26,000, and they are ready to go.
What's the catch? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So all I have to do is come top 3 in a bar, and then I finish top 4%, and I have a seat for $200,000 championship.
This is for you to go out to a bar, have dinner, have some drinks, relax, meet new friends, meet adult friends. It's a great way to meet new people. You know, that's where do you get that nowadays, where you can actually go meet new adult friends and enjoy what you're doing with them.
And guess what? I found Pop the Magic Dragon. Let's go talk to him. Oh, look at this, guys. How does it feel to be sitting next to a former champion?
I didn't know there was a former champion until now.
You're sitting next to a dragon. How does that feel?
I really have no comment.
Oh, being here, I love being with my whole group, my whole league. We have so much fun together, and we're just all having a great time.
It's incredible. I mean, it's as a player, I started as a player. That's why I'm doing this, because it's what I would have wanted as a player when I was doing this 15 years ago.
All right, everyone, we are down to the final 8, and you know what that means? It is final table time. So tune in right now as the live stream starts. The players are going to be on this table, and we're going to watch all of the action. Chip leader never wins tournaments. How are you feeling, Rob?
Like this. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I wanted this weekend, and I got it. That's all I know. That's all I know. Lost for words right now.
Do you remember what I?
Know it's not really good for an interview, but
No.
I'll get it.
But do you remember what I said to you right before the final table when I interviewed you? What did I say was going to happen?
You said you were going to see me here, and you were going to get my brother crying with me, and you might cry.
Yeah. I called it. What is up, guys? Ebony Kinney here, and I am coming to you from the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Guess what? It is our 10th Bar Poker Open. This is our 6th time here at Borgata, and all of the players are playing for their piece of the prize pool. There has been so many changes throughout the evolution of the Bar Poker Open. We're going to talk to some of the players and see what their favorite memories are.
And I got a royal flush at the River Chasers like a month or 2 months ago. Yeah, I got a royal flush, my first royal flush, so that's one of my favorite moments.
Of course, I love that you snap knew what it was. You're like, no, here's what it is. I think you might be the only person who has never missed a Bar Poker Open. Out of all 10 of these now, what are your favorite moments?
Well, really, I just like every time I get to play. One more favorite moment? Like doing this. Doing this interview. Yay!
Really, when I bubbled that final table, I got rivered. My straight got beat by a rivered flush. So that was
Favorite? Are you masochist?
Favorite because I was so close. I was so close.
Oh, so you're thinking half glass full.
I'm gonna go final table this year, hopefully, for sure.
A lot of the players have one thing in mind: this final table. But what's your plan for this year's Bar Poker Open?
Just try to run good, you know.
We actually started day 2 with 90 players, and we're playing down to the final 8. Now, as you can see behind me, we are down to like 32, 33 players, so they are dropping like flies. Now, they are all playing for a piece of that $120,000 prize pool, which is $20,000 more than we had last year. First place is over $26,000, and they are ready to go.
What's the catch? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So all I have to do is come top 3 in a bar, and then I finish top 4%, and I have a seat for $200,000 championship.
This is for you to go out to a bar, have dinner, have some drinks, relax, meet new friends, meet adult friends. It's a great way to meet new people. You know, that's where do you get that nowadays, where you can actually go meet new adult friends and enjoy what you're doing with them.
And guess what? I found Pop the Magic Dragon. Let's go talk to him. Oh, look at this, guys. How does it feel to be sitting next to a former champion?
I didn't know there was a former champion until now.
You're sitting next to a dragon. How does that feel?
I really have no comment.
Oh, being here, I love being with my whole group, my whole league. We have so much fun together, and we're just all having a great time.
It's incredible. I mean, it's as a player, I started as a player. That's why I'm doing this, because it's what I would have wanted as a player when I was doing this 15 years ago.
All right, everyone, we are down to the final 8, and you know what that means? It is final table time. So tune in right now as the live stream starts. The players are going to be on this table, and we're going to watch all of the action. Okay, guys, so statistically, as day 1A chip leader, you're not supposed to be here right now. The chip leader never wins tournaments. How are you feeling, Rob?
Like this. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I wanted this weekend, and I got it. That's all I know. That's all I know. Lost for words right now.
Do you remember what
I know it's not really good for an interview, but I'll get it.
But do you remember what I said to you right before the final table when I interviewed you? What did I say was going to happen?
You said you were going to see me here, and you were going to get my brother crying with me, and you might cry.
Yeah. I called it, and you were like, "I'm not going to cry," but
Look, he is.
Well, he is definitely crying. But you are getting a little choked up. You just won $26,000.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is the best. I mean, I love poker. To get paid $26,000 for playing and doing what you love. My daughter's Sweet 16 is going to be amazing.
What's she gonna get? What's your daughter's name?
Brianna.
Brianna or Brianna?
Brianna.
Brianna. I want to make sure that I say it right.
Brianna, whatever you want to say it. Oh, okay. I can't even speak.
You hear that? You're going to get a great present, but he doesn't care what I call you. Okay, tell me how it feels to do this for No Limit Pub Poker.
Oh,
I mean,
great.
you were talking about the owners before this.
You know what? I came in with No Limit this year, and I found a real family. Not a we say we're family. They stick up for you. They go to bat for you. They're there for you. Look at the people I had with me today. There was so many people. So many people. You know, I got my brother. I got friends is the smallest word I could use. Family. I got family.
I love that so much. Okay, so normally I very rarely do this. I think I've done this maybe once or twice before, but I'm going to go ahead and let your family come on in.
Come on, guys.
While we're still here for the interview. Come on, guys.
No Limit. Come on. Gut shot. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So this is, yes, of course. You guys come on in behind, fill in. All right, you guys have a chant. All right, go ahead. Who's got the chant? All right. How does that feel to have your family behind you for this moment, cheering your name?
Great. They just want me to pick up the bar tab tonight. That's
I mean, isn't that the point of bar poker?
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations. You're going home with over $26,000 in your pocket. And for Katie Stone, Griff, for Glenn, for everyone here at the Bar Poker Open, I am Ebony Kenny. And if you are not a part of Bar Poker, make sure you go to barpokeropen.com. Find your local league, get involved. We will see you guys next year in Vegas.